Good evening and welcome to Falcon Media Sports Network's coverage of the season opener for the BGSU Falcon football team. The Falcons are taking on Lafayette tonight. Kickoff at 6 o'clock, maybe. We'll see about that. Currently waiting for a chance of a weather delay, but we'll see about that. For now, though, planning on a 6 o'clock kickoff for the Falcons tonight. I am joined here in studio by...
Artie Abrego of the Falcon Media Sports Network. Excited to be here.
And Foster Rosta of Falcon Media Sports Network. It's great to be here.
And we'll be getting you ready for the Falcons season opener tonight as before we send things out to Andrew and Sean at Dwight L. Perry Stadium as the Falcons have their season opener at home tonight, kicking off the season at home. We'll also be with you during your halftime and post-game show as we also get ready for a new kind of format for our coverage here on the Falcon Media Sports Network. All right, coming up, we will talk about BG and their opponent Lafayette tonight. Right now, though, let's take a quick break and we'll be back with more coverage here on Falcon Radio.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry.
I can roller skate while walking my dog.
I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
And welcome back. Nate Henners, joined by Artie and Foster here in studio as we get you ready for the Falcons season opener from the Falcon Media Sports Network. So what are you guys expecting from the Falcons tonight? A pretty exciting new era for the team kicking off tonight.
New era is a good term to use. It feels like a new everything for this team. Obviously, it's the thing we've talked about all offseason. It's the first game with Eddie George as the head coach of the Falcons. So, I mean, that's just one heck of a way to kick it off right away. And also a lot of new players, over 50 new players coming into the Falcons this offseason. Of course, Drew Pine making his first start at QB for the Falcons, along with numerous other players. So it's going to be interesting because, now we're looking at this new look offense. There's not really a starting running back. Eddie George says they're going to kind of mix and match the running backs here today. And there's no Harold Fanning Jr., so there's no obvious offensive target yet here for the Falcons. So it's definitely going to be interesting to gauge expectations in the first game of the season.
And it's not all new, though. The offensive line for Bowling Green has a lot of returners. 4 of them, if I'm correct, are returning for this Falcons.
4 out of the 5.
Yes, 4 out of the 5, with one of them being a transfer from Southern Florida. So they're going to have a very good offensive line, which for a new coach, with a new quarterback, with rotating offensive options, having an offensive line set like that, it's going to be great for this team to have.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see, though, how the team, kind of gets together with having a new coach, as you were saying, over 50 new players, correct? And combines that, you have, it seems like everyone's qualified and will be strong performers. It'll just be interesting to see on this first game of the season how they all perform together.
I mean, obviously, like Foster mentioned, it's a good mix and match of players we've seen previously, like Finn Hogan, with the newer players they brought in, like Drew Pine and among others. It's going to be interesting because, like I mentioned, they've had all offseason to kind of hopefully gel together as a team. There's a lot of, obviously, there's the offensive line coming back is huge for those 5 players coming back because you want that consistency in a program, especially a program that's been to 3 straight bowl games. So it'll be fun to watch. Hopefully that they can gel together as much as we think they have so far.
Yeah, in this first game, I mean, you're going to see some stumbles every once in a while. I mean, that's what first games are. But what you want to see is them limit the mistakes that they can limit. No fumbles, no bad reads from the quarterbacks. Make sure all the blocks are picked up on the offensive line. Make sure that if there is changes in the calls, that they've all understood the changes and there's no miscommunications. Keeping things that they know they can coverage to themselves and making sure they just don't make any of those small mental mistakes.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see how this new era plays out starting tonight. Now moving on over to Lafayette, how are they looking going into this game?
Well, they're returning their quarterback, Dean DeNoble, 14 touchdowns last season, 12 interceptions. He's been their starter for a couple seasons, over 4,000 passing yards at his time in Lafayette. So they have a very veteran quarterback. They do like to sub in a quarterback. Their backup, Jason Penza, as a little bit of a dual threat, keep the defense on their toes as a running option. But they have a battle-tested offensive line, returning 4 starters from last year in their last 6 games. And they've got good offensive weapons. Elijah Stewart, 46 receptions, 635 yards, and a touchdown in 8 games, averaged 13.8 yards per reception. They have weapons on that offense that can really cause problems for the defense. And on their defensive end, defensive back Xavier Johnson, 2 interceptions last season, 4 pass deflected, 11 solo tackles, 6 assists, and he had a punt return touchdown. So they have people who can do little bits of everything and really cause problems for Bowling Green.
Also, they're looking to begin the season 1-0 for the 3rd time in 4 years. But, I mean, last season, they opened up the season against another MAC opponent, which was Buffalo, and they lost that game. So take what you will out of that. They're also looking for 3 straight wins over teams from Ohio. Of course, a lot of those games were a very long time ago, over 70 years ago, but still. And this is their first time actually playing in Ohio in a collegiate football game.
Wow, so yeah, kind of an interesting record book for them. Kind of, though, well, it's not quite an easy team for Bowling Green to start off the season with. Definitely have some competition coming up on the other side there.
Yeah, they were picked 5th to finish in the Patriot League, but that doesn't discount that just a couple seasons ago, back in like 2023, they had won the Patriot League, and they're looking to get back to the top of the Patriot League. Their coach been there for 20 years. They are a very well-coached team, and they're not going to make mistakes on their own. You're going to have to force them into these mistakes to beat them. So you can't, if you're Bowling Green, you have to come out ready to go. You can't stumble out of the gate. You can't play slow. You have to be ready from kickoff to go at this Lafayette team.
I feel like a good rule of thumb for college football is you can't overlook any opponent. We've seen shocking things happen. I mean, last year at homecoming, Old Dominion upset Bowling Green in that 3-point victory for Old Dominion. So you can't really overlook any opponent. You kind of have to take them all seriously, especially in a home opener where you want to set the tone of your season. You want to set the pace. You got to get Bowling Green wants to kick things off with a win, but they can't overlook their opponent.
In a home opener with everybody's eyes on them, especially with Eddie George starting at his season today.
Yeah, definitely a great point there, reminding back to BG's heartbreaking loss in homecoming last year, heartbreaking for the Falcons. All right, coming up, we're going to head on out to the stadium, talk to Sean and Andrew about kind of the vibe out there, how they're feeling going into tonight's game. Right now, those take another short commercial break, and we'll be back with that here on Falcon Radio.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry.
I can roller skate while walking my dog.
I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer because everything that's learned is shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
And welcome back to Falcon Media Sports Network's coverage of the BGSU home opener football game. Nate here, joined in studio by Artie and Foster. I don't know why. I keep wanting to call you Holden for some reason tonight.
Holden Ruck is not here right now.
Me and Holden might be old, but we are not the same person.
I don't know why that keeps popping into my head tonight, so if I call you Holden, shout out to Holden, by the way, but if I call you Holden tonight, I apologize in advance. But anyways, Sean and Andrew are out at Dwight L. Perry Stadium, getting ready for the Falcons game tonight. Hey, how's the vibe going out there?
Welcome on into the broadcast booth here at Dwight L. Perry Stadium. Fans are slowly packing into the stands, and yeah, I mean, what you guys want, there's a vibe. I mean, the vibe around this place for the past, 5-6 months, ever since Eddie George got hired, has been pretty bright, and it seems like that's going to be the vibe for tonight. I think a lot of people want to see Eddie George's first game. I'm joined by my partner, Andrew Helkowski. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you. It just seems that all the fans here today are really excited to see how Eddie George is going to turn this offense around, especially after losing such a strong player in Harold Fannin Jr. and Terrion Stewart from last year. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see how they're going to perform today.
Yeah, a lot of turnaround on this offense, but, even if step aside from everything about Eddie George and just Urban Meyer's return, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Just it's football back on our screens or over your radio dial. It's good to be back in football season, bands on the field. I mean, just hearing the sounds of a football game, you can't get much better than that. So I'm looking forward to the game here. Kickoff is just under 16 minutes away, and I can't wait for it. Eddie George, like you guys have mentioned, multiple times, it's his era to begin, and I can't wait for it.
All right, thanks, guys. Coming up, we'll talk about our roundtable. As we get you ready for more Falcon football here on Falcon Radio.
Here's that song again. Here's that song again. For the 100th time today. Here's that song again. It's gonna be stuck in your head all day. Here's that song again. It will make you cray, cray.
You love your kids enough to watch that TV show a bajillion times. Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat for their age and size. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Falcon Radio's coverage of BGSU football as we get ready for their home opener here on Falcon Radio. And now talking about the Falcons again with our analysis roundtable. Foster, got it right, and Artie here in studio. We talked a bit about the teams as we were getting ready. Now, what are you guys kind of expecting more for tonight's games, and what are some of the main points both teams should focus on going into the game tonight?
I mean, I feel like it's just interesting to just watch the Falcons because, I mean, we're going to have to – this is, like I mentioned earlier, Harold Fanning Jr., obviously he got drafted to the Browns in the 3rd round of the NFL draft. So it's interesting to see who's going to step up this season and be the offensive playmaker for the Falcons because, I mean, last year you would kind of look at the offense and you knew Harold Fanning Jr. was going to go out there and make a play. Now it's a little less obvious because there's a lot of new players involved. You're going to have to look for other people to make plays and as such. So that's what I'm really looking out for. Also, just to see, I'm very interested in the defense. I felt like Eddie George and his coaching career, he's coached a lot of good defenses at Tennessee State. So to me, it's interesting to see how the Falcons defense is gonna kind of look in this new look era for Bowling Green.
And it's not just Harold Fannin. That was that offensive weapon that you had. You're also missing Terrion Stewart this year, a bruising runner for the Falcons these last couple of seasons, who's been just so dominant on the ground game that really could help open up the offense through the air for Harold Fannin. So I'd like to see who kind of steps up in that running back role. I know we talked about they're going to kind of rotate players in, and with a veteran offensive line, you might have a couple players really shine maybe 1 week you have one player shine because they're running certain plays for him. But I'd like to really see that running room, really who steps up and who's starring in the role of that running back.
I mean, Eddie George mentioned in a press conference that he feels that they have really good depth at that position, that they can just mix and match there and, create the best plays possible. So that's something I'm excited to see, just, the depth they've acquired at running back. And that's something I'm excited to see because, a former running back, talking about how much depth he believes the running back room has. That excites me as a fan and as a reporter.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the fun parts of the season. I think they have so much talent in the running back room, and with somebody who's been through the ringer at running back with Eddie George, you can see if he's excited about what we've got at running back, I don't see why we shouldn't be excited about it either.
I mean, with the Falcons too, Drew Pine is making his first healthy start in what feels like forever. I mean, he played at Notre Dame for a couple seasons, and then he transferred, went through a lot of injuries, and now his team seems to be healthy and is making the start at quarterback. So, I mean, getting off to a good start against Lafayette. Obviously, you can't overlook any opponent, but that's something to watch out for in tonight's game.
And is there something really specific you want to see from Pine? Is it just going out there, making the right reads, making the right play calls, just making sure everything is just kind of in line for down the season, or is it just maybe showing why he was that Notre Dame starting quarterback at one point?
I feel like just consistency. I feel like consistency is a key in any quarterback, and just to kick off the season with a sort of, I feel like Connor Bazelak last season was very consistent. He felt more poised than he was in his first season playing for the Falcons. So you kind of want that to continue, especially in tonight's game.
Yeah, definitely see those points going on in tonight's game. And just by the way, we'll be back with you guys at halftime, too, to kind of see how that all works out halfway through the game and what the Falcons have to look forward to in that second quarter. But, of course, we are not in either quarter yet. So as we still get ready for more Falcon football coming your way tonight, coming up, we'll see what's happening around the MAC, see what's going on with other teams in the MAC, what their night and weekends are looking like. Right now, though, let's take another quick break, and we'll be back with Around the MAC here on FMSN's pregame coverage for Falcon football.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And welcome back here to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage of Falcon football, the season opener. And let's check in to see what's going on with the other teams in Around the MAC tonight.
So Bowling Green is not the only team kicking off tonight in the MAC. The Ohio Bobcats, last season's MAC champions, they're kicking off at Rutgers tonight at 6 p.m., same time as Bowling Green. At 7 p.m., Akron Zips, they will host the Wyoming Cowboys. 8 p.m., Buffalo is in Minnesota to take on the Golden Gophers. And at 9 p.m., Miami Redhawks will take on the Wisconsin Badgers in Wisconsin. Some really big, exciting games and good things for the MAC tonight.
I feel like that Bobcats game interests me a lot, just to see how the reigning defending champs get their season started. I mean, we talk all the time about MACtion. Obviously, it's one of the favorite parts of anyone's time in college football. So it's definitely exciting to see it finally back after so many months.
Yeah, and them taking on a Rutgers team that's such a historical program overall. For them to take on that type of Big Ten team and how they can show maybe like after last season coming off a win, how are we going to take that even step farther in the MAC? Well, we're going to go push a Rutgers team.
I feel like that's a good key to any season. Obviously, you have like the sort of warm-up games, but then you also want that high, those very tough teams.
Tests.
You want those
to
tests
be tested
to see how good your team is, especially someone who just won the MAC last season. So I think that's a good test for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because for the MAC tonight, not a lot of games, but still a big night for the MAC with a team, the Falcons, getting ready for a new era in football, as well as a team who previously had a success last year to see how that goes this season. All right, thanks. Coming up, we'll get your Falcon 4 keys to the game as we get you ready for more Falcon football here on Falcon Radio. Right now, though, let's see our Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week.
This week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week is women's soccer's Gabby Lamparty. The junior defender from Canfield, Ohio, recorded her first goal as a Falcon against Cleveland State off of a corner kick from Michelle Hochstadt. Scoring the game winner for BGSU, Lamparty, who is a transfer from West Virginia, played all 90 minutes in the home opener versus the Oakland Grizzlies and has played in all 270 minutes so far this season. During her career at West Virginia, she played in all 20 games her sophomore year with a 12-5-3 overall record. This has been the Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week.
And just a few minutes away now from kickoff for the Falcons tonight. And as we get ready for the kickoff, let's talk more about our Falcon 4 keys to the game for the Falcons tonight.
Well, I think my 4 keys are very simple. 1, consistency. You got to get a consistent start to the season. 2, you got to force some turnovers. 3, you want to have some high impact rushing here today, especially if you're going to be mixing and matching the running backs here today. And 4, just having the other wide receivers sort of step it up, see who's the real playmaker on this team after, we mentioned Harold Fenton Jr. a couple times.
And I'm going to play off that. Consistency is key for any football game, but you have to come out of the gate ready to go. You can't come out slow. No mental errors for the Falcons. You got to just play everything within yourself and then dominate the trenches, both offensively and defensively. Don't let Lafayette get anything on the ground and have yourself a nice run game.
Some keys to tonight's game. Your guys' final thoughts as we get ready to send things on over to the stadium.
It's just good to have Falcon football back, honestly, and I'm excited to see the new Eddie George era kick off tonight here at the Dwight L. Perry Stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season. I can't wait to see how much this team moves forward in this new era.
Well, we'll definitely see tonight, see how this new era of Falcon football starts off, and see what we can expect this season for the Falcons. All right, with that, let's take one more short commercial break, and we'll head on out to the stadium after this.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up, it's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I envisioned a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
And that's going to wrap things up for Falcon Media Sports Network's pregame coverage of the season opener for BGSU football. Let's head on out now to the Dwight with Sean and Andrew as they're getting ready for kickoff in just a few minutes here on Falcon Radio. Hey guys, how's it going out there?
The 107th chapter of Bowling Green football is set to begin here at Dwight L. Perry Stadium, and we have a new author writing the book. Eddie George became the 21st head coach in Bowling Green football history this past spring, and players are already noticing a culture shift, a sense of community, and even brand new guts. With kickoff just moments away in a packed house here at Bowling Green, we want to welcome you into the broadcast booth. I'm Sean Connolly, joined by my partner Andrew Helkowski. And Andrew, Eddie George said it on Monday's press conference. This is like Christmas morning. There's a vibe of Christmas. You know, football is back. I just can't be more excited for a new era here at Bowling Green.
Man, it sure feels like a gift, I'll tell you that. I'm so excited.
Yeah, there's a new entrance going on. There seems to be a motorcycle that leads out the team. New area for the team to get let out, too. So, yeah, I mean, the vibes around this place, just even the past week, you could feel it, that there was, football back on the campus of Bowling Green. And, you can't just, nothing's better than that. Just football being back, and obviously add into the fact that you have a new head coach, being named Eddie George. You just can't get better than that.
No, you definitely can't. This is by far my favorite time of year to get this the sport that we all love underway, and I just cannot wait to see how this game plays out, and hopefully it's a good indicator for the rest of the season.
Yeah, what some of the guys said in the pregame show was, there's a big roster overhaul, and I think that was pretty important. However, the one standpoint from the roster that I think was pretty important is the offensive line. That seems to be the heart and soul of this team. It seems like a lot of the guys are pretty close within that offensive line group. Drew Pine at Mac Media Day told me that they literally travel in a pack. You will not see one of them on their own. You see 3-4 guys all together in that sense. A couple of them got married this past summer. A lot of them were in each other's weddings. So it seems like that's the group that you have to keep an eye out on, because that's the front line of the trench. If you can control that, especially for the offense, especially against an opponent like Lafayette, which we will get into, it's kind of where you want to be in terms of where you want to start off your program for Eddie George with the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, a strong offensive line is really the key to winning every football game that you play in. You need this tight-knit group of guys who are just, best friends. You need that kind of chemistry to keep everybody together and working toward each other. We've got just a really veteran group, a lot of strong guys out there. You've got returners like Alex Padgett and Nate Paps and all that. So just, it's exciting to see how they're going to be today.
Yeah, you mentioned Alex Padgett, Tunde Fadakowski, Nate Paps. I mean, those are three guys that have a lot of experience here at Bowling Green. And yeah, so I think the offensive line will be mentioned a lot during this football season. Warranted if they all stay healthy, which a lot of those guys are Warriors. So I'm really looking forward from that standpoint. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. I think that I'm more excited about the defense because of how much overhaul there was. You lose a lot of guys like Jordan Oladokin to the draft, a few guys to the transfer portal. However, you bring in guys from the transfer portal, including Eric George, Eddie George's son, on the defensive line, including Gideon Lamprin, the middle linebacker. Middle name ESPN, which I'm sure we'll probably have a feature out on him sometime soon. Just guys like that you can bring in, yes, from the FCS level, but they dominated the FCS level. So I'm looking forward to that. And then you have Jalen McClellan, a team captain this year, and I think that was pretty important. Eddie George mentioned that at the press conference on Monday, that he was named one of the captains. And I think that that speaks a lot to who he is and what kind of player he is to already be named a team captain from going from FCS to FBS. So I'm looking forward to seeing the defensive side of the ball as well. So it looks like coin toss just happened. We get the indicator on who won the toss, who lost the toss. Looks like Bowling Green will receive the kick. So they're going to be on offense for the first time this year. Packed house, student section. Getting
really
ramped up
today.
Looked like there was going to be a weather delay, but they elected not to. We'll play through it. Didn't think that there was any weather in the area, but they must have saw something on the radar that looked a little alarming, but looks like we're going to have to play through it.
Excited to see this offense get started. They got plenty of experienced guys on the offense, both in skill position and in the offensive line. Expect to see good things out of them today.
So the Bowling Green offense is going to go from left to right across your radio dial. Mac Dumont from the Lafayette Leopards will kick it off here shortly, and we will begin the 2025 season under Eddie George. Dumont kicks it away, and we are underway in the 2025 football season, and it will be returned. And looks like he's got an opening, and will we see it again? There he goes. He's at the 50. There he goes for the second straight year. He will be gone. 2 years in a row, Cameron Petaway. Touchdown Falcons. Unbelievable.
Man, I've never seen anything like that. Just like last season, the exact same opener. Another kickoff return touchdown, this time from Cameron Petaway. Wow.
Cameron Petaway took it the distance. That looked to be about 98 yards.
Man, just excellent blocking by that by the fielding team out there. Did a great job opening up a hole for him to just turn on the jets and sprint to the end zone. Fantastic job.
Deja vu here for Bowling Green. Wow, what a start. Last year it was Justin Pages. This year it was Cameron Petaway.
Oh, man, you love to see it.
Unbelievable. Jackson Cleather for the extra point, and it's up, and it's good. So 7-0 Bowling Green for the second straight year. They return the opening kickoff of the season to the house. Wow.
I almost had a feeling before this game started that we see something similar to last year, and there it was.
I was expecting more. Yeah, I agree. It's something, an offensive play. I didn't think we'd return another kick for the second straight year. I don't know if that's ever happened before.
Not that I've ever seen.
That is unbelievable. Last year when it happened, it was crazy. I mean, returning a kick, especially nowadays in college football and the NFL, of course, it's rare. Guys don't return it anymore. They let it go to the end zone. You start the ball at the 25. You never see returns anymore. So to see back-to-back years and to return them like that is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, you almost never see kickoff return touchdowns. They barely even field it out to the 25. So to see it to go all the way to the house for 98 yards, you just don't see that, and that's such an explosive play, and I'm sure a huge confidence booster to those guys out there.
Wow, I'm in shock here. That is unbelievable. Cameron Petaway took it 98 yards to the house to give the Falcons the 7-0 lead. early.
Only 11 seconds off the clock, and Bowling Green has gone 98 yards.
So Zach Long now will kick it off for the Falcons, giving the ball to Lafayette. So it looks like we're going to have some Lafayette offense before we see the Bowling Green offense. Unbelievable. I mean, right in front of the student section, too, is where you returned it. So just an unbelievable start to the season.
That sideline is hyped over there. Look at that.
Zach Long kicks it away. It will be short, so will this one be returned to? It will. And he gets an opening, but he's going to be taken down at the 21-yard line. Mason Kuhler marked down at the 22-yard line. So we do see that Bowling Green defense I was talking about in the pregame first here. Again, you have guys that did leave. Jordan Oladokin, most notably, he was a captain last year, got drafted or signed by the Chargers as an undrafted free agent. Most notably, like I said, he was a captain, seemed to be the quarterback of the defense, so you say.
They've got a young group of guys out there, but I think they're going to be a great group.
But a younger group. Gideon Lamprin, Eric George, Jalen McNellan. So Dean DeNoble, the Lafayette quarterback, will hand it off. And he's going to be taken nowhere past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great job by that run front to just stuff that run for a loss of 1.
Ethan Weber, was the ball carrier there for a loss of 1. So 2nd and 11 here at the Lafayette 20. So Dean DeNoble in shotgun formation. We will see a play action pass. Pump fakes to the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. And no flags. Maybe looked like pass interference there, but it didn't seem like the ball was catchable. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long for Dean DeNoble and the Lafayette offense.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact on the outside, but nothing I saw that I think would be warrant of drawing out a flag. So I think that's a good call by the officials.
And that was Jalen McClellan on the coverage there. Team captain, as mentioned, transferred in from Tennessee State, followed his coach Eddie George to Bowling Green. So Dean DeNoble on a 3rd and long. He's back to pass. Looks over the middle. It's going to be caught, but it's going to be behind the first down line. So he may have only got about 4 yards there, bringing up 4th down. So a good first defensive start here for the Bowling Green defense, rather.
Yeah, like you were saying, you were excited to see how these guys are going to perform, and right there they showed you just how good they can be and how stifling they can be.
So, yeah, as mentioned in the pregame, obviously Lafayette's an FCS school, but you can't take them lightly. Eddie George coming from the FCS level, so he knows it more than anybody, that these guys they're tough. They're still the same football players that would be on any other field. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fare against the Falcons here. So Christian Bush, the punter for Lafayette, will kick it away to Brennan Ridley for the Falcons. Punt is away. And fair caught by Ridley. So the ball is going to be probably spotted around the 28-yard line for the Falcons after this media timeout. So we will take a break here from Dwight L. Perry Stadium. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer, because everything that's learned is shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
I need a tax preparer. How should I choose one?
Using a paid tax preparer this year? Before paying someone to do your taxes, make sure they're qualified. Ask about their fees, experience, and training. Check with a Better Business Bureau. Avoid anyone who promises a higher refund. And review your tax return before you sign it. And make sure your preparer signs it too. For more tips, visit irs.gov and search Choosing a Preparer.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit rain.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by Rain and this station.
Welcome back to Doyd L. Perry Stadium. Bowling Green up 7-0 over the Lafayette Leopards off a kickoff return by Cameron Petaway. For the second straight season, Bowling Green returns the opening kickoff of the season.
That's still unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
So now the Bowling Green offense, finally we'll get a chance to see him. Will be led by Drew Pine, making his 15th start in his college career, 10 of those being at Notre Dame, 1 of them being at Arizona State, and 4 of them being at Missouri. And his first one here at Bowling Green, transferred in from Arizona State. Seemed to be Eddie George's first transfer in. It seemed to be a pretty big one. So Pine will hand it off, and that will be a pickup of about a yard or two. Chris McMillan on the carry there.
Yeah, pretty good job of the Lafayette defense to close up on any running lanes and hold them to only 2.
Yeah, 2-yard pickup there. 12 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So Pine in shotgun formation again. And it's going to be another handoff to McMillan, and he's going to get about another 2 yards, which brings up probably around 3rd and 6 here.
Yeah, I mean, I think what the offense is trying to do here is to just assert their will over the defense, and the defense is bending a little bit, but they're not breaking yet.
Picked up 3, they say, so 3rd and 5 here. You know, I thought they were going to start passing the ball because that running back room, which we can get to in a little bit, it has a bit of a question mark. Receivers have a bit more experience. So it will be pass. Pine is back to pass. Looking over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Jiron Johnson, the transfer tight end. And it's going to be incomplete, bringing out the punt unit for Bowling Green, giving the ball back to Lafayette.
Yeah, had a very clean pocket on that play. Very good job of the offensive line. He had his guy open and just missed him.
So John Henderson, the punter for Bowling Green. Eddie George called him a cyborg at the press conference on Monday. He said, if we ever have to use him, you obviously don't want to use your punter, but if we ever do, he's a cyborg. Got the room to laugh. So John Henderson kicking off to Mason Kuhner for Lafayette. Punt is away. And it takes a bounce, and Lafayette won't touch it. So it looks like the ball will be spotted at the Lafayette 21 for Lafayette's offense.
2 drives, 2 3-and-outs. Have to see if Lafayette can get their offense going here on their second drive of the ball.
Like I said, I thought we were going to see passing a little more by the Bowling Green offense. But I guess they wanted to see what they could do in the run game first.
Lafayette seemed ready for it, so they might have to go to that passing game.
So Dean DeNoble, a team captain for the second straight year for Lafayette. Started 23 games over the past 2 years. This will make his 3rd year as the starting quarterback. Fumbles the snap a bit, and it's going to be a handoff for about a yard. Bobbled the snap.
Yeah, not really a whole lot to say there. You know, a bit of a iffy work on the snap there, and the offensive line didn't do the best job blocking the run defenders. So that's just another 2-yard gain for the run game here.
Yeah, 2-yard gain there. So 2nd and 8, 11:20 to go left in the first quarter. 7-0 Falcons. DeNoble back to pass. Pressure being brought. It's going to be incomplete. Guy got a hand on it.
Yeah, he was running an out route there,
Ethan Hozak was the intended receiver.
Yeah, he had separation and just a little bit too much heat on it, a little bit outside, and he couldn't quite reach it.
So 11:06 here, 3rd and 8. DeNoble back to pass. Pressure being brought. He has to just throw it away, but it is going to be complete, and it's going to be one for a first down.
Yeah, pretty good job right there, getting the ball out to his check down, and he does a good job running up the field for about 12 yards.
Kyrie Henley, the running back, caught on the out route. And yep, that is the official I was just about to make. Got note. Game officials have been placed on notice due to lightning in the area. Game will go on to delay within 10 miles if lightning is in the area, which it seems like that is the case. So there must be lightning in the area. We saw something similar last year against Northern Illinois. They had to delay the game rather than start the game and then delay it. So there is 10 minutes, 43 seconds to go left in this first quarter. And it was going to be a first down for Lafayette at the 35-yard line. So we will keep you with updates when we get them. We're going to return back to the Cooling Center. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Nate here back with you guys in studio as the Falcons have gone into a lightning delay. While we are in this delay, we're going to send things back to more music and then head on back to the stadium when the Falcons are back in action and the sky has cleared up. Right now, let's get back to more music here on Falcon Radio. Garbage. Only happy when it rains here on Falcon Radio, and many Falcon fans probably not too happy with today's rain and thunder as the Falcons going into a rain delay after just 15 seconds of ball time. 15 seconds of ball time, then thunder, and then currently in a delay right now. So, but that just means more time for us. I'm Nate here with you guys in studio, joined by Foster and Artie. And while there may have only been 15 seconds, it was an exciting 15 seconds of play at least.
Cameron Petaway returns the opening kickoff for a touchdown. That's the second straight season the Falcons have done this. After last season, they opened the exact same way as they did this one, a kickoff return touchdown. So, obviously, we're now in a rain delay. Hopefully the Falcons can keep that momentum, headed as soon as we get back to playtime. Of course, it might take a little bit of a while because you have to wait for the lightning to get farther than 10 miles away and you can't see the lightning. So obviously it just keeps going and going and going until it's safe for the guys to go back out there and play again. But, it was an exciting... we at least got to see some of the Falcons, like some of the things they'll bring to the table in the opening 5 minutes, I believe, of this matchup.
Yeah, and it's not just the Falcons getting back out there and showing what they can do. It's getting reacclimated. Anytime you start a game, you're already in that mindset to start and ready to go out there and attack. You now have to go back. You're waiting. You're kind of thinking on, okay, the game's only gone on for a couple different drives, but what can we fix? What can we change? How can we, execute better if we're the Falcons on offense? They've had one drive on offense, 2 rushes, an incompletion. They now have to go back and sit and think and then go back out there and reacclimate themselves to this football game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get back once this rain delay is over and are back on the field.
Hopefully sooner rather than later, because obviously we want to see some football action here today. We can't be always coming back here to the Cooling Center the entire game.
But yeah, definitely. If the rest of the 59 minutes and 45 seconds looks like the first 15 seconds of ball time, it will be a good night for the Falcons. But again, we are still in a lightning delay here in Bowling Green. You are listening to Falcon Radio's coverage of Falcon Radio and Falcon Media Sports Network's coverage of the season opener of Falcon football. course, in that rain delay. But the Falcons up 7-0 within 15 seconds of ball time. We will keep you updated as the Lightning moves, whatever happens with that. Right now, though, let's get back to some more music with a song, maybe hopefully that will describe the weather later on tonight. Here's ELO with Mr. Blue Sky on Falcon Radio. That was The Alarm, Rain in the Summertime here on Falcon Radio. And again, some rain in the summertime here at Bowling Green. More than just some rain, some lightning. So that's why we are on air and not broadcasting some Falcon football right now because, currently in a lightning delay. So, while the Falcons may not be playing right now, some football teams are playing. So Foster's got an update on how they're doing.
Yeah, that's right. Fellow MAC member Ohio Bobcats are tied up with the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. After one, Parker Navarro has a touchdown pass already in this game. So you'd like to see that Ohio is really pushing the Scarlet Knights to the limit right now.
I mean, we mentioned that was the game we wanted to look in on the most, obviously, during the pregame show. I mean, the Bobcats, obviously, the reigning defending champions, and they're going up against a tough Big Ten opponent. So that's kind of the matchup you want to see. Obviously, there is other MAC football going on right now, of course. As we take you through the action, those games are going to some of those games start later than others, of course. Obviously, the Bobcats game is the most major one happening at the same moment of the Falcons. No rain delay going on over there.
Yeah, and the only other close game to starting is Akron and Wyoming, and they don't kick off till 7. So right now, since we can't watch the Falcons play because of the lightning and rain, watching the Ohio Bobcats take on the Scarlet Knights is a very nice thing to have on.
It's some football. Running, throwing footballs. I mean,
it's better than
if
lightning.
You enjoy that kind of stuff.
It is better than lightning.
It's better than lightning and rain and just sitting and waiting for the game to start again. I mean, I feel that's comparable, even if it isn't BG.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. You can better than watching like an empty stadium with people. I don't know where they go, but somewhere in the stadium.
I assume we were talking about this earlier. I'm assuming they're standing, like the fans are at least standing underneath the Doit.
Standing is a light word. I think they're huddling underneath the stands.
I got an idea for our next rain delay. Let's have a microphone and let's interview the fans. Be like, how are you guys feeling about this rain delay?
You guys excited? I mean, the Falcons were so good that the weather came in and had to stop them. That's what happened.
Yeah, I guess the weather is not Falcon fans today.
They're Toledo fans. I don't know how else to explain it.
I guess so today. All right, anyways, while we continue on in this lightning delay here on Falcon Radio, let's get back to it with some live. Here's Lightning Crashes. It may never rain in Southern California, but it's certainly raining in Northern Ohio here today, or at least here in Bowling Green. Some rain and some lightning, keeping the Falcons from heading on out onto the Doit. So, they headed out to the Doit for like 15 seconds of ball play and then came back. So, got a little bit of action, some exciting action, but not much of it. So, while the Falcons may not be in play, Foster does have an update on a MAC game that is actually happening.
That's right. The Ohio Bobcats are trailing the Rutgers Scarlet Knights 10-7. They're Rutgers, right as we went to the last break, put a field goal up and made it. And we're just now waiting for the other MAC games to kick off. As a reminder, Akron hosts Wyoming at 7 p.m. Buffalo takes on Minnesota at 8. And at 9 p.m., Miami will take on the Wisconsin Badgers in Wisconsin. So as we wait, there's other games that are getting closer to kickoff. That Akron game, very close to kickoff time.
And really only being 15 seconds in, BG is pretty much close to their kickoff anyways. So whenever time we get back in action, it'll probably be pretty close to some of these other games either being in play or getting ready to play. So we'll just have to keep track of when the Falcons return to the field.
We spent more time in rain delay than we have playing football. The Falcons only played football for I believe the total game time was about 5 minutes past, I believe.
It was if you saw the baseball game this summer, the MLB game, the Reds and Braves game at that NASCAR stadium or NASCAR.
I know which one you're talking. Where they played 3 innings.
They didn't play 3 innings. They payed half an inning,
and they stopped and played the rest of the game the next day or something.
Yeah, they go to a 3-hour rain delay, play 1 inning, and then go into the rain delay again, and then are like, oh, we're gonna move it to the next day.
Yeah, and
I feel like we shouldn't put a 3-hour rain delay out there in the universe right now, just to not jinx us.
Yeah.
Foster, I believe you have an update on the score of the
Rutgers
game as well.
Has just scored again. It is now 17-7 over the Ohio Bobcats with a touchdown from the Scarlet Knights.
Well, while we continue to follow that game and prep for a 3-hour rain delay, just prep for it.
Yeah,
I've got to find
ready.
3 hours worth of music of some lightning-themed music. So let's head on back to it right now with some Blind Melon. Here's No Rain on Falcon Radio. That was Blind Melon with No Rain. You are listening to Falcon Radio, and that song must have brought us some luck because, hey, sure enough, no rain outside now, or at least no lightning, because the Falcons getting ready to return to the field. And with that, Sean and Andrew getting ready to get back into action out there. Hey, guys, how's it looking out there?
Welcome back into Doyle L. Perry Stadium, where both teams are back out onto the field after approximately about a 45-minute lightning delay. After about 5 minutes of game time passed, and the officials called it. It's 7-0 Bowling Green. And again, just unreal kickoff to start the season, back-to-back years. You just can't ask for a better start.
No, you certainly can't. That was an unbelievable play.
So yeah, both teams warming up, getting the legs loose again. When we return, will be Lafayette ball at the 35-yard line. Bowling Green defense. Lafayette went 3 and out their first drive.
Got a little under 2 minutes before the delay is over here. When the game resumes, it'll be 1st and 10 on the Lafayette 35, their ball.
So yeah, like I said, we'll see the defense again for Bowling Green, an inexperienced group, but a fun group, and I'm looking forward to seeing most of them in the action this season. For Lafayette, Dean DeNoble, his second year as a captain, his third year starting, started 23 games last 2 seasons, ranked 9th in career passing at Lafayette. Last year he had 2,417 yards for 14 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Kind of a rocky year compared to what he had the previous year in 2023. Less yards, 1,997, but 20 TDs to 5 interceptions. So not necessarily his best year last year, but looking to get back into that. It'll be his third year starting, so.
Yeah, a little bit of a turnover problem for Dean DeNoble last season. That's not a good touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how these teams come out. I mean, you only got about 5 minutes of game time. I mean, yeah, obviously you scored on that first drive, but other than that, both teams really never got warmed up, especially on both sides of the offense. So it looks like we will have the first play of the game. Like I said, Lafayette at the 35-yard line. .43 to go in the first quarter. After the 45-minute delay due to lightning.
This is the sunniest lightning delay I've ever seen.
We're ready to get back going.
That's for sure.
Dean DeNoble is going to hand it off, and he's going to be taken nowhere. Jakiri Henley, the ball carrier, going nowhere. He's got to be taken down for a loss of 2.
Yeah, good open field tackle by Dorian Pringle there to get that TFL behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Pringle's somebody that Eddie George mentioned the other day in the press conference that he's super excited to see how he fares on this defense. So 2nd and 13, 10 minutes to go. DeNoble back to pass. Pressure being brought. He eludes pressure right. Takes it. Completion, and it's going to be caught. And across the 50-yard line, Ethan Hozak gets the second first down for Lafayette this game.
Yeah, that was a good play by Dean DeNoble, scrambling to keep the play alive, and this time he and Hozak connect for a first down.
Now in Bowling Green territory, and it's going to be a pass, and it's going to be a pickup of about 5. That was Mason Kuhner on the completion. Pickup of about 4 for the Leopards offense. So a 2nd and 6, 9:21 to go.
Clock is running.
First time either team got across the 50 on offense alone. Obviously, we had the kickoff. Return by Cameron Petaway. Game operator told to reset the game clock to 9:28. So ball at the 41-yard line, 2nd and 6. Lafayette. There's a bit of a drive going. DeNoble back to pass, eludes pressure to the sideline, and it's going to be caught and taken down by Jalen McClellan. And he might have gotten about 4 yards, so it's going to bring up third and 2 on the ball at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, very strong tackle by McClendon there to bring down their number 1 receiver, Elijah Stewart.
Elijah Stewart is a captain this year. He's led the team in the first 3 seasons in receiving yards, ranked 9th career at Lafayette. So, yeah, definitely the number 1 guy for Lafayette this year. So a 3rd and 2, 8:40 to go. DeNoble in shotgun formation. DeNoble is going to fake the handoff, and it's going to be incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th and 2. Now decision time for Lafayette.
And just like that, the Bowling Green defense gets another stop on 3rd down. Really good job by these young players so far today.
Lafayette led by John Troxel, a 94 graduate, in his 4th season here at Lafayette. So it's going to be decision time, and it looks like he's going to go for it. Offense stays out onto the field. 4th and 2, 8:29 to go. 7-0 Bowling Green. DeNoble in an empty backfield in the shotgun formation.
Bold decision here.
DeNoble back to pass. Trying to find somewhere. He's going to be taken. Nope, and it's going to be incomplete. The Bowling Green defensive line got to him. Got a little awkward, and it's going to be incomplete. A turnover on downs. Bowling Green gets the ball back.
DeNoble was looking for Stewart there, but really good coverage by Pascal to deny the 4th down conversion, and now Bowling Green has the ball on their own 37.
Defensive line got to him. I thought he got taken down, but DeNoble was able to get the ball out, but it was going to be incomplete. Nearly intercepted. McClellan got a hand on it, but wasn't able to haul it in. So the Bowling Green offense, Drew Pine back out there. First drive for him, they went 3 and out. Couldn't get anything going offensively. So Drew Pine, it's going to be a handoff to McClellan, and it's going to be about a 2-yard pickup. Chris McClellan.
Yeah, nice little run there by McMillan.
Another 2-yard pickup for McMillan. So Drew Pine in an empty backfield, shotgun formation, back to pass. It's going to be a screen pass. R.J. Garcia with his first completion, and he's going to be taken down for a first down, it looks like. Looked right at the mark. R.J. Garcia there, first completion for him. He was injured all of last year after the transfer from Kansas State.
Yeah, that was a good job by R.J. Garcia to get upfield with his blockers, and he got hit pretty hard out of bounds, but 2 yards short of the line to gain.
So 3rd and 1, 7:35 to go. Ball at the 46-yard line. And it's going to be a handoff to McMillan, and it's going to be picked up, it looks like.
Another short run by this offense, but this time it does pay off, giving them a first down, and now they have the ball in their own 48.
That was Petaway, big ball carrier. My apologies. Petaway with the kickoff return for 98. And a new set of downs. First down for the Falcons. Ball at the 48.
Already been a busy day for Petaway.
And it's going to be a pass. Drew Pine looks to get rid of it, and it's going to be caught, but looks like he lost a yard.
Yeah, that play really didn't have much of a chance. Those Lafayette defenders just swarmed through the O-line right up into Pine's face, and he had no choice but to try to dump it off.
So a loss of 6 there. Pine tried to get rid of it, and honestly catching the ball probably wasn't the best idea. 6:28 to go. And it's going to be a play-action pass. Drew Pine over the middle. Caught. Finn Hogan, his first completion of the year. Taken down, but it makes it a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, that was a good catch by Hogan right there. The ball was a little bit low, and he did a good job bringing it to his body and getting down.
So a pickup of 10, so it's going to be 3rd and 6 minutes to go. And a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be a free play. Drew Pine looking for the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. But I believe the defensive line jumped. What will the call be? Like I said, I thought it was the defensive line for Lafayette that jumped. Yep, offsides. Replay 3rd down. So a free play by Drew Pine. He hauled it over to the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, mistakes like that will happen early. First game of the year, players are still jittery.
So now it's still a 3rd and 2. So they get 5 yards back on that one. 3rd and 2. Drew Pine gives it to McMillan, and he's going to pick up the first down for the Falcons.
A lot of these short runs up the middle here.
Yeah, we really haven't seen the offense pass the ball much this game.
But they haven't stretched the field all that much. Still early, though.
Continuing to pound the rock, which I thought they were actually going to start passing the ball. Clearly, I was wrong. 1st and 10, 5:22 to go here in the first quarter. Drew Pine gives the handoff back to McMillan, and it's going to be a pickup of another 3 yards. So, again, still running the ball.
And really, it's not being all that productive so far.
Very interesting. Chris McMillan seems to be getting the first-string carries after Eddie George on the press conference on Monday mentioned this running back room was going to be pretty interesting with 4 guys competing for that first-string position. Drew Pine back to, nope, it's going to be a play action, and it's going to be a handoff, and it looks like he got the first down. I believe that was Cameron Petaway again, right at the sticks.
A really good run by Petaway, keeping his legs driving through and picking up those extra yards.
So they do give him the first down. That was Kadarius Roberts, actually, on the carry. So on a 1st and 10, ball on the 30-yard line. Drew Pine, and another handoff, and he's going to be taken nowhere. Loss of about 1 yard.
Bowling Green continues to struggle to run the ball. They've ran it 8 times on only 23 yards.
I mean, they are moving the sticks, but I was expecting a little more in the air here for the Falcons. When, like I said, Eddie George didn't openly say it, but the running back room is pretty thin when it comes to production, yet we have a very young room, which allows it's anyone's position to win. So 3:40, 2nd and 10. And it's going to be another handoff, and that one's going to be taken up the middle, and that one's going to be McMillan across for the first down, and he's going to be taken down at the 14-yard line.
That was a really good run. The offensive line did a really good job opening up a wide running lane for McMillan to just shoot on through all the way up to the 17-yard line for a nice gain of 13.
Again, you have that experienced offensive line, which does allow you the chance to run the ball if you can win in the trench line on the offense. So it's going to be 1st and 10, 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Ball on the 17. Pine hands it off again, and he's going to be taken nowhere. Again, that was Chris McMillan on the ball carrier.
No gain on that run, just right up the middle and stuffed by this Lafayette defensive front.
This brings up 2nd and 10. McMillan is the back. Just under 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter here for the Falcons, as the sun does seem to come out, getting us out of this lightning delay. Drew Pine is going to hand it off to McMillan, and he's going to be taken up, and it's going to be it's going to be close to a first down.
A good run by McMillan right there. He does a good job avoiding the first tackle and getting almost all the way up to the line to gain. Looks like he could have actually housed that one if he just hadn't been tripped up at the last minute.
Again, 3rd and 1 now. $1:50 to go in the first quarter. And it's going to be another handoff to McMillan. I believe he got it. Didn't get a lot, but I think he got enough. Yep. Ref gives him move the chain. So it's going to be 1st and goal now.
Pickup of only a yard, but they are turning first downs.
So a year ago, they were 58% in the red zone when scoring a touchdown. 82% on any score with a field goal. So it's going to be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Minute 15 to go. I wonder if they're going to set up play action pass here. They've been running the ball pretty much this whole drive. It's going to be handoff to McMillan, and he's going to be taken up the middle for about a gain of 3. As we are under 1 minute again in the first quarter.
Yeah, just another really short run there by this offense. You kind of wonder when they're going to open up the playbook a little bit more, and maybe even if you want to keep handing the ball off, maybe try a run to the outside or a reverse or something, and maybe try to trip up the defense with a play action.
So 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Falcons up 7-0. And Drew Pine gives it to Kadarius Roberts, and he's going to be stuffed. He had a hole. The Lafayette defense, Ryan Goodson from Lafayette, stuffed him.
Yeah, Roberts was hit hard by Gadsden right there at the 5 for no gain.
And that might take us to the end of the first quarter, which it will. So the Falcons are up 7-0 at the end of 1 with the ball at the 5-yard line, 3rd and goal when we return. So you're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
I guess I called AA because alcohol didn't work anymore. Drinking used to give me a sense of meaning in life. I called AA not knowing what to expect. Certainly not cheerfulness, but that's what I got. People had humor. They seemed to be at ease. I hung around. Now I feel much more comfortable with myself and the people around me.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
What kind of help does the IRS have for identity theft victims?
If you suspect you're a victim of tax-related identity theft, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn how to prevent potential refund fraud and protect your tax account. At the IRS, combating tax-related identity theft is a top priority, and we are committed to prevention, detection, and assisting victims. And we're working with law enforcement to catch the criminals. For more info, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn what the IRS is doing to help protect you.
A lot of people have trouble filing their taxes. I wonder if I can help.
You can help people with low to moderate income file their taxes through the IRS's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, VITA, or Tax Counseling for the Elderly, TCE programs. As a volunteer, you'll learn how to prepare individual tax returns, and at the same time, you'll help taxpayers get tax credits and deductions they're entitled to. If you'd like to volunteer, go to irs.gov and type Tax Volunteer in the search field for more details.
I need answers to my tax questions. Where can I find them?
Need answers? Try our interactive tax assistant on irs.gov/ITA. Simply select your tax questions, provide your information, and it gives you answers. Also, check our Help and Resources page and try our online tax map. 5,000 tax topics from A to Z. Plus, you can access forms, publications in a variety of formats.
I need to pay my taxes. What are my payment options?
The IRS has several options for paying your taxes. You can pay with IRS Direct Pay, a debit or credit card, or with an electronic funds withdrawal when you e-file your return. If you can't pay the full amount, consider paying over time with an online payment agreement or our Offer in Compromise program. Both tools are available on irs.gov. Go to irs.gov/payment to find an option that is best suited for you.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up, it's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I envisioned a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
During the break, Urban Meyer honored and getting inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, and he's going to every stop where he head coached at. Urban Meyer was a head coach here from 2000 to 2002, one of the more decorated head coaches in recent memory, not just here, but at Florida and Ohio State, winning multiple national championships.
As well as a short stint with the Jacksonville Jaguars toward the end of his career.
So 3rd and goal here, ball at the 4-yard line. Drew Pine back to pass, and he's going to be taken down, and it's going to be a sack.
It was a really good job by the Lafayette defensive front right there, getting through the yellow line and getting right to him before the play has any time to develop. And they're going to hold them to a field goal here.
So the first time they decide to run, play goes nowhere, a loss of 8 on the play. So Jackson Cleather on for the field goal attempt. 29-yard attempt. Kick is up, and it's good. So Falcons out to the lead, making it 10-0 on the second play of the second quarter. 14:15 to go. Falcons up 10-0. Maybe not how you'd like to end it, but
points are points. I mean, obviously that drive didn't quite end the way that they had wanted it to, but with the offense honestly struggling a little bit here in the first quarter and, I guess now the first half, but, they've got to be happy with coming up, at least with the field goal here.
So we'll step aside. When we return, Lafayette gets the ball back. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Your phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back here at Doyd L. Perry Stadium, Falcons added their lead, making it 10-0 with 14:15 to go here. After the sack, made him bring out the field goal unit. I mean, Lafayette was probably expecting the run, considering they did that pretty much all last drive. When he finally decided to run, or pass rather, decided to go nowhere.
We get another opportunity here to see the Bowling Green defense, and so far 2 drives, 2 stops. So they've proven that they're a talented team, even with the all the young players and new starters on that defense have been playing well today.
So Zach Long kicks it away. Oh, we see a return? We will not. So ball will be placed at the 25-yard line for the Lafayette offense, led by Dean DeNoble.
Dean DeNoble was 5 for 9 for 46 yards in that first quarter.
And we'll step aside again, another media timeout. So you're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself, surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back into Doyd L. Perry Stadium. 10-0 Bowling Green over the Lafayette Leopards. Zach Cleather adds on 3 points for the Falcons. 14:15 to go here in the second quarter. 1st and 10, ball on the 25 for Dean DeNoble and the Lafayette offense.
Like I was saying before the break, this Bowling Green defense has been playing exceptionally well. Getting 2 stops in the first quarter, so we'll have to see if they can keep up with that aggressive momentum and preventing Lafayette from getting any points off this drive.
Yeah, really, other than 2, probably about 10 to 15-yard pickups on 2 third downs, really haven't gotten anything going offensively. So Dean DeNoble, shotgun, back to his right, back to his left. And it's going to be a handoff. And it's going to be a play action, and it's actually going to be DeNoble on the carry. And he's going to be taken for 8 yards, and a flag on the play. Looks like to be a late hit. That was very late. And they're going to add on about 15 yards.
Somebody standing on the sideline shoved him.
Already an 8-yard pickup. Just not what you want. I mean, that was pretty clear.
Yeah, you hate to see that. That penalty was on the safety, Khalil Pascal there, number 0.
Yeah, that adds 15 yards. And that's just the first game mistake. You just can't do that.
Get a little bit too emotional. Gotta play with a clear mind,
So now the ball's at the 48-yard line for the Leopards offense. DeNoble is going to hand it off, and it's going to be taken for about 2 yards by Ethan Weber, the ball carrier there. Pickup of 3, so 2nd and 7, 13:30 to go here in the second quarter. Ball at the 49.
mean, I know that was just a short run there, but that was well executed by Lafayette, as well as the read option on the first play of this drive.
Noble is going to pitch it, and it's going to be a pickup of about 3 yards again. That was Kente Edwards on the carry there.
I like the play call there. They hadn't done anything like that yet in this game. I hadn't seen a pitch yet, so that was a nice play call.
Pickup of 2, so it's going to be 3rd and 5. Lafayette was 1 for 3 on 3rd downs prior, and it's going to be a DeNoble back to pass. He's looking to the sideline. It's going to be incomplete, out of bounds. Mason Keener, the intended receiver. And it looks like the offense is staying out on the field again for another 4th down.
It seems to be a bit of an aggressive call.
Never mind. Looks like the punt team comes out. Offense was out there for a little too long. So Christian Bush, a Lafayette punter, will return it to Brennan Ridley for Bowling Green. So 12:30 to go here. Punt is up and away. Fair catch signaled and caught. So the Falcons will get the ball at the 12-yard line when we return. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
All the festivities going on here at Bowling Green. As mentioned earlier, Urban Meyer getting inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, and this was his first stop. First game, Eddie George, first game.
Eddie George was at Tennessee State before he got the job here at Bowling Green.
So the Falcons offense getting the ball back here at the 12-yard line. 12:23 to go. Falcons up 10-0. Pines back to pass, looking for Finn Hogan. He's got it, and it's going to be complete for about a 9-yard pickup to Finn Hogan, his second completion of the game. That one for 9. Gets him to 19 yards overall.
Yeah, short completion to Hogan there, but a good job by Hogan turning turning upfield and getting a few extra yards off that.
Looks like they will mark him for the first down, so it's going to be a new set of downs. 1st and 10 for the Falcons after the Finn Hogan completion. He's hoping to have himself a big year after injuries. Ended a little quickly last year. So it's going to be a handoff, this time to Kadarius Roberts, and he's going to go, and he's going to pick up the first down.
That was a really nice move by Roberts there. He did a really good job of faking out the defender and getting himself to the line to gain for a first down.
2 plays, 2 first downs for Bowling Green. Ball now at the 33-yard line. Pine is going to hand it off back over to Roberts, and he's going to be stuffed this time for about a pickup of 2.
Yeah, there's not too much to say about that one. Just really, I guess it's a good job by the defensive front there by holding him to only 2 yards after a good pickup he had on the previous play.
So Roberts goes off to the sideline. In comes Cameron Petaway. Again, this is what we were talking about with this running back room. We're going to see a lot of running backs, especially these first couple weeks, to see who's actually going to be that number 1 guy.
So far, 3 guys have been in at the running back position so far tonight.
2nd and 8. Pine is going to hand it off to Petaway, and he's going to pick up another about 2 yards there. So it's going to bring up 3rd down here at the 37-yard line for the Falcons. 3rd and 6.
See what Eddie George wants to do here.
10:20 to go here in the second quarter. Pine back to pass. Picked up over the middle, and it's going to be deflected and incomplete. That one was intended for Jiron Johnson over the middle, but incomplete, so it's going to be bring up a 4th and 6 and bringing out the punt unit.
Had his man open there, but a really good deflection by Beckham's D prevented the first down completion.
So now John Henderson, the punter. Mason Keener to return. 10:07 to go here in the second quarter. Punt is up and away. It's going to take a bounce. Ooh, almost hit a Lafayette defender, but it did not. And they're going to mark the ball now at the 15-yard line.
A little bit of pushing and shoving there.
And with that, we'll take it with you. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio. We'll actually stay here for the media timeout. So the Falcons give the ball back. Few first downs, especially those first 2 plays. But then couldn't get anything going offensively after that. Andrew, what are you seeing from the Falcons offense that maybe you'd like, maybe you don't like?
Well, honestly, I'm not a real huge fan of the play calling so far. I think it's kind of one-dimensional. You know, it's pretty predictable up to this point. You know, it's just running up the gut a lot. But I do think a lot of the athleticism of some of the players is being well displayed here, though.
Yeah, maybe you like to see a little more outside runs.
Yeah.
I mean, the inside runs are completely fine if they're working, but you're only getting about 2 yards every single time. Brings up always 3rd and 6, and then you never can really complete those. I mean, you saw what happens. You get a completion to Finn Hogan. He gets the first down. Then another run play there. You got 2 first downs in 2 plays, and then after that, offense kind of stalled, and I couldn't do anything about it. So, I mean, I'm hoping that they start airing the ball out a little bit. We haven't really seen Drew Pine's, arm yet.
We have good players on the outside. We just need to start using them.
Yeah, I mean, this is an offense that I think we're looking forward to the guys on the outside. Finn Hogan has 2 catches. R.J. Garcia finally getting into the offense after being injured a year ago. Who replaces Harold Fannin last year, and even a guy like Levi Gazarick wasn't the guy who was always catching, but he was blocking. He graduated. He's actually on the coaching staff now. Who's going to replace him? I was talking to Dwayne Alexander, the tight ends and assistant coach here, about the tight end room. He was saying if we played tomorrow, and this was a couple weeks ago, that they would play 5-6 guys in that position, and we've seen Jiron Johnson, we've seen Jacob Harris in that. seen Blaine Cleaver. So I was pretty excited going into this year about the tight end group. Haven't been able to call all their names yet. A couple passes intended to Jiron Johnson, the transfer from Texas Southern. A year ago, he had 26 receptions for 271 yards. But again, hasn't really been able to get the ball, as most of these play calls has been runs.
This tight end position is quite deep with talent, and I would love to see them get utilized a little more here.
And again, with Eddie George, he is a running back, but even at Tennessee State, he didn't favor the run. If you had a good, if you had a good quarterback, good receivers, you're going to air it out, whether you're a running back or not. However, the way he was talking about the running back room, that's why I'm a little surprised. But maybe with the offensive line experience, win in the trenches. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 16 for Lafayette. It's going to be a handoff, and he's going to be taken nowhere. Defensive line for Bowling Green stuffs him. Ethan Weber, the ball carrier for Lafayette.
Yeah, that was a good play right there by the Bowling Green defense. They did a really good job of identifying the ball carrier and getting them down before he had a chance to get any steam.
A 1-yard loss for Weber. Brings up 2nd and 11. Ball at the 15. DeNoble, back to pass, and he's going to complete it on the screen pass to Ethan Weber again. He's going to be taken for about a couple yards there, but it brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a nice short yardage play call right there to pick up about half of what you need to get to the 1st down. So now you're looking at a 3rd and 7 on your own 19 here. Makes you wonder what the defense is thinking for them and what to expect.
So 3rd and 7, ball at the 19 for the Leopards offense. DeNoble back to pass. Pressure being brought. He's going to be taken down, going nowhere. There's Gideon Lampron, the captain. Middle name ESPN, making an ESPN play.
Yeah, that was a fantastic job of the Bowling Green pass rush right there. You got the new guy in Lampron. You got a veteran in Pringle there doing a great job of getting to DeNoble and bringing him down to prevent any momentum here on a 3rd down.
That play was busted from the start. Again, Gideon Lampron, the transfer from Dayton, who had a heck of a year ago, being top 5 in a lot of categories in the FCS level. So Christian Bush, the punter for Lafayette, is going to punt it away to Ridley, and it's going to be taken by Ridley, and he's going to dodge a defender, but not going nowhere after that. To the 45-yard line for the Falcons offense.
With their defense playing so well and having Lafayette pinned back deep, we're starting this offensive possession here with Bowling Green having the ball on the Lafayette 45-yard line. You really couldn't ask for better field position right now.
Yeah, tremendous field position right now. Ball at the 45-yard line of Lafayette. So they're across the 50. 7:55 to go. Bowling Green up 10-0 here in the 2nd quarter. So 1st and 10 for the Falcon offense and Drew Pine. Pine is going to hand it off. That one to Chris McMillan, and he's going to be up the middle for about 4 yards.
Now, that was a decent run up the middle there. I think if you can churn out about 4, 5, 6 yards per run, I think you're in a good position. But since they've only been, putting out 2 to 3 per carry, we'll have to see if they keep trying to pound the rock down the middle or if they're going to get a little more creative in the run game.
So Chris McMillan is the running back for this drive so far. Again, you never know which running back is going to be trotted out there by Eddie George. Pine is going to hand it back off to McMillan, and he's going to be tripped up for another gain of about 2 yards.
And for a very brief moment, he had a good running lane to shoot through, but the Lafayette defender did a good job at getting out his leg right before he could get going.
So just under 7 minutes now. It's going to be 3rd and 7, ball at the 42. It's already an early 3rd down after great field position. Only 3 yards to gain on this drive already. Pine this time to pass. Pressure being brought, already taken down once, and there's a flag on the play, potential holding. Pine's going to take it himself, and he's going to get rocked out of the sideline.
Wow.
Another flag. That one might be going against Lafayette. literally the same exact position of the late hit earlier.
Wow.
There was already a flag, I would assume, for holding as he was trying to get away from the pressure, but I think there was a
he got hit hard.
Targeting, honestly. That's on the far side from where we are, but that looked like targeting from here. We'll see exactly what it is. He didn't get the first down.
A little bit hard to tell where he got hit, but he got drilled right there on the sideline.
Pine is okay. A little winded out. I mean, I would be too after that kind of hit, but he is okay walking. We'll see exactly what these penalties are. The ref's discussing right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were offsetting penalties here, one for each team.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one against each team. Holding, offense, number 77.
Number 77.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, play hit out of bounds, defense number 98. That 15-yard penalty will also be enforced. First down, Bowling Green.
So they're going to give a first down to Bowling Green. Holding.
Yeah, that holding was by James Thomas Jr. there.
So it does give the Falcons a breath of fresh air there. I mean, he didn't get the first down initially, so getting this first down is pretty big.
Yeah, it's certainly helpful in helping them get the ball down the field with, penalties like that and big hits and stuff.
So it looks like Cameron Petaway now is going to be the back right behind Pine. And it's going to be a handoff to Petaway, and Petaway breaks free, and he gets the first down.
Great run by Petaway, showing the explosiveness. You saw it in his kickoff return touchdown at the beginning of the game, but there he is again going through these gaps and just turning out first downs.
So moves the chains now, ball at the 25-yard line for the Falcons. Petaway stays in the game as Pine's in the shotgun formation. And it's going to be a play action to Petaway, and it's going to be caught now to the sideline. That one was to...
It was Brennan Ridley there, right?
Yep, Brennan Ridley. That one was for a pickup of 8. So a 2nd and 2. Potential shot at the end zone here if you're Bowling Green. 5:30 to go here on the clock. And it's going to be a handoff to Petaway, and Petaway is going to get the first down. Pickup of about 3.
Only needed 2, got 3. Good job getting the first down, and now they have the ball in the 14 in the red zone.
So now in the red zone, as mentioned earlier, 82% a year ago, while in the red zone to score. So 1st and 10, just under 5 minutes here in the second quarter, 10-0 Falcons up. Pine gives to Petaway. Petaway up the middle. Petaway breaks free, and he's going to be taken down for about a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, it seems like Petaway's kind of been the guy for them this drive. He's been doing pretty well here. He had the big run just a moment ago, and then here he is with 5 more yards to his tally.
Pickup of 6, so 2nd and 4 now. Ball at the 8. And now Pine finally under center. First time we've seen that all day. And it's going to be a give to Petaway, and he's going to be tripped up. Don't think he gained anything. Maybe a yard, if that. So that's going to bring up 3rd down in the red zone.
Yeah, the defense was ready for that play. A couple of substitutions here, getting some fresher players onto the field right now.
This is like Nakaya Amakri is in at running back. Again, that's another running back we see by this room by Eddie George. Doesn't have a true starter yet.
The 4th running back we've seen today.
3rd and 4, ball at the 8. 3:39 to go. And it's going to be a handoff to him, and he's going to be taken up, and it's only going to be about a pickup of 2 by Nakaya Amakri.
So now a decision for Eddie George here. Are they going to go for it on 4th and 2, or are they going to kick the field goal here on the 6-yard line?
I was going to suggest go for it no matter what. I mean, you're stopping them on defense.
Yeah,
really their only positive yardage was on the penalty, and then after that you kind of stopped them. So I would say go for it. So 4th and 2, ball at the 6. They can get a first down, don't need to get in the end zone. And it's going to be a handoff to Amakri, and he's going to be close. He might have gotten it. Lafayette says they stopped him.
They're going to give it to him?
Amakri, the ball carrier, shot by number 5, Robert Stevens.
And they stopped him. Yep, couldn't convert on the 4th and 2.
I know it didn't work out for them, but I do think that was the right play call given how your defense has been playing. You're all the way down on the Lafayette 6-yard line. It's only 2 yards to go. I know you didn't get it, but I think it was the right idea and a good call.
With 3 minutes to go, I agree. You got to go for it there. Your defense has been holding their own. Yeah, I agree to go for it. Again, all these runs, you're getting the positive yards. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm expecting a little more, maybe pass the ball a little more.
Just a little more depth in the playbook on offense.
So the media timeout, we'll take it with them. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
My daughter's Aspen. She has stage 4 neuroblastoma. St. Jude is it saved us. The financial help given here goes a long way. The research helps, not just here, it reaches the whole world. And St. Jude is a gift. I just want to say thank you.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit rain.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
Before I came to Alcoholics Anonymous, I thought all the people that I knew who didn't drink were self-righteous people, holier than thou. So it never occurred to me that Alcoholics Anonymous was filled with people who had drank like I did, and now were the same people that I used to drink with, the same people that I liked, only now they weren't drinking. They were people just like me who had been drinking for a long time and found out that it didn't work for them anymore.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting.
Falcons can't convert on the 4th down, so the Lafayette Leopards are going to get the ball at the 5-yard line. Backed up against their end zone. 10-0 Falcons with under 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
If they can mount a drive, it would be quite an odyssey. They have to go 95 yards from where they are right now.
And they were in a similar position a few drives ago, and they didn't really go anywhere, so I agree with the decision to go for it. I don't know if I agree with the play call. So DeLittle is going to pass the ball to the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that was overthrown past his guy by about 5 yards there. He was pretty well covered too.
So a 2nd and 10.
I believe that was intended for Elijah Stewart.
DeNoble is going to hand it off, and back is going to be met after about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, he got hit pretty hard at the line of scrimmage, but does a good job at pushing his legs forward to get about 4 yards out of that.
Kente Edwards was the back there. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 4. Bowling Green does have all 3 of their timeouts. So if they do decide to run the ball here and stop them, I would imagine they use another timeout. They do get the 2-minute warning implemented a year ago in college football. 2-minute timeout, rather. So DeNoble back to pass. And it's going to be incomplete off the hands of Carson Persing. So that's going to bring up 4th down. Again, you're probably looking at some good field position for the Falcons again, and a good defensive stop there by the Falcons defense.
It seems like offensive mistakes have been the theme for this first half, because right there he had a guy who was open and he just couldn't quite hit him in the chest. He hit him a little bit too far outside and he can't reach out and grab it.
Brennan Ridley back to receive. With 2 minutes to go. 2:07 to go here, and that punt is not going to go very far. Even better field position. Takes a bounce. You're going to get the ball probably about at the same time. Punt only went to about the 38-yard line, then it bounced a couple yards. So you're going to get the ball at the 45-yard line when we return. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
The IRS is urging people to beware of ads that promise big money by claiming the Employee Retention Tax Credit. This is a real tax credit that helps businesses that were affected by the pandemic, but scammers are telling people they qualify when they don't. The scammer takes a fee and your personal information. If you're not eligible for the credit, getting conned by this could cost you a lot. The IRS doesn't want that to happen to you, so check the official information at irs.gov/e.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
10-0 here at Doyd L. Perry Stadium. Falcons on top over the Lafayette Leopards. 1:57 to go. Ball at the 45. So they're going to get ball at the same position they started at on the last drive. That one they got all the way down to the 5 and then ended up going for it on 4th and 2. Couldn't convert.
Yeah, points have been a little bit difficult to come by, so any advantage you can get with field position is a good sign.
So Pine is going to do a screen pass, and that one is going to be complete, and that one is going to be taken, and it's going to be over for the first down. Rise Stocksdale.
Stocksdale, a transfer from Ohio State. He spent 4 years on the team with the Buckeyes, won a national championship last year. That was a good play.
6 games over 4 years. So he didn't really get much playing time there. And there he gets his first completion in a Falcons uniform.
Shows off the athleticism with a lot of good moves on that screen play to get about 10 or so yards.
Good for 17 yards, a minute 42. So Pine is going to hand it off to Katarius Roberts, and he's going to be up the middle for about 2 yards. It's the 28th rush for the Falcons as opposed to 8 passing attempts. So rushing is really dominating this offense so far. I mean, I didn't know what to expect in terms of, what their offensive game plan was, but I didn't know it was going to be so lopsided. So 2nd and 6, and it's going to be another handoff to Roberts, and he's going to be taken up, and he's going to be met after getting a first down. Up the middle, he was going up there full speed ahead, so he got the first down. Now we're under a minute.
That was a very strong run to pick up 11 yards there. And, I know they've been heavy on the run, and it hasn't always been working, but, flashes like that are what you really want to see out of this offense right now.
So now back in the red zone, under a minute to go. They do have 3 timeouts. Clock is ticking, under 45 seconds. Pine is going to hand it off to Roberts, and Roberts is going to go up the middle for positive yards. You got to expect the timeout is coming. Looks like it did. Yep, Eddie George calls his timeout. After Kadarius Roberts picks up 4 yards. So you're now in about the same position you were a drive ago. What do you do differently here, Andrew?
I think if you're really committed to the ground game, I think you got to pop a couple of outside runs, maybe a few screens, which, I know that 17-yard completion earlier was a wide receiver screen, and that's been working, but I think you've got to look at possibly throwing it past the sticks, maybe trying some slants or maybe a dig or something like that right here. You've got 10 yards. You've got a little bit of space to work with.
Yeah, you don't have to get into the end zone. You only have to get about 7 yards to keep the drive going. However, I know they're probably going to be looking at the end zone. 32 seconds to go here at Doyd L. Perry Stadium. Falcons up 10-0, trying to build on their lead before they go into the half. Lafayette does receive the ball. Pine back to pass, looking that way, and Roberts is going to catch the ball, and he's going to be taken down right around the sticks to the sideline. I don't think he got out of bounds. However, there are timeouts to be used. Clock does stop if it is a first down. Looks like they're going to mark him short. So 3rd and 1, 26 seconds to go. Ball is at the 9-yard line. Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Ball is at the 3-yard line, it looks like. So 3rd and 1, 26 seconds to go. Pine is going to hand it off to Petaway, and Petaway is going to try to get in the end zone. And do they call it? Yep, touchdown. Cameron Petaway is 2nd of the night.
There we go. Got some offensive points for this team. That was a really nice run to cap off a pretty good drive. I think they did a good job of mixing in, a nice pass play there. I think you got to look toward that here in the second half.
Halfback dive, got him into the end zone, so that builds it up to 16-0 here for the Falcons as Jackson Cleather tries to make it a 17-point lead before heading into the half. Extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. So 17-0 now for the Falcons. Cameron Petaway with both touchdowns on the day. 20 seconds to spare here. I'd assume Lafayette probably just runs the ball, goes into halftime. They do get the ball to start the second half. So I can't imagine they try to do anything.
Wouldn't do anything too crazy here.
That risks giving the ball back. Maybe even just take a knee.
That's definitely what I would do. I would just take the knee and go into the half, go into the locker rooms.
I mean, they've had multiple opportunities, the Falcons, but you can't really complain about a 17-0 lead going into halftime. I mean, again, only thing I would say I'm really surprised about is how much they're using the run. I guess I could say I'm not complaining, but I just was expecting maybe a little more in the pass game.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you there. We haven't really seen them stretch the field a whole lot, but I mean, it's been working. They have 17 points, and you really can't, like you said, you can't complain about a 17-point lead at the half.
Yeah, obviously, a half to go, and, assuming you hold on here before the end of the half, obviously a kickoff return could be likely. Never know. And he's not going to return it. Taken out of bounds. So 20 seconds to go here in the first half. Like I said, can't imagine we see anything other than a knee or a run by the Leopards offense.
I mean, I'm certainly not expecting much more. I don't think they're going to take a shot on their own 25 with only 20 seconds to go.
With them getting the ball to start the second half as well.
It looks like they will take a knee here.
Yep. Takes a knee. That takes us to the halftime here at Doyle Perry Stadium. Falcons up 17-0 over the Lafayette Leopards. We're going to send it back over to the Cooling Center for the halftime report. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and that.
Welcome to the Falcon Media Sports Network halftime show. Nate Henners here in studio, joined by Artie and Foster. Back here, Falcons up 17-0 for their season opener today after, quick start, then a long rain delay, back in action. So what have you guys thought of the gameplay so far today?
Well, it's been a little bit of start and stop, I feel like, for the Falcons. I mean, you had that big kickoff return to start things off, and then it's just been it's kind of slowed down a lot since then. It's been a lot of running plays from both sides, not a whole ton of passing we've seen so far. It's been fairly, I would say a fairly, not really back and forth game, but it feels like Bowling Green has really put on their foot on the gas yet. They've only thrown the ball 9 times. In between them, they've run the ball about 31 times with about a ton of different players, 5 different running backs, and then Drew Pine with 2 rushes, and then Chris McMillan with 12 carries for 42 yards, and then Cameron Petaway, obviously, he had that big kickoff return. Mikael Porter, he ran the ball in the end zone for the touchdown. So it's been a lot of running so far, Foster.
And Foster, just real quick, as Artius ran down those stats, can you quickly tell us, what happened in that game for those just tuning in now?
Well, right off the bat, Bowling Green kickoff return touchdown, second year in a row for the Falcons where they've had an opening kickoff return for a touchdown. It was about 98 yards to the house. So that was just, the game started off huge for the Falcons. A lot of momentum. Right after that, maybe, not even 10 seconds, it felt like right into a lightning delay for the game.
A long lightning delay.
Very long, 30, 40 minutes maybe.
Music.
Almost, a lot of lightning and rain themed music back here with us, but almost an hour rain delay. That Akron game was getting ready to kick off when we got back.
And we'll check in on that coming up later on.
Which we will check in on. And then the game just halted almost for both sides. Bowling Green has, as already said, ran the ball to the ends of the earth so far. Nothing but runs. They've had 9 passing attempts for 51 yards. They've completed 7 of them. So they've been hitting their passes when they've taken them, but they're just not throwing it yet. And I don't know if they came into this game wanting to just show everybody that this first game, we are going to run the ball. You are going to have to stop the run and say, message to the MAC that this is the way we're going to play. Or if it's we want to establish ourselves in the run and we want to make sure we figure all our running game stuff out first.
Yeah. And we're going to take a quick break right now and we'll be back with more of our analysis coming up right after this here on Falcon Radio.
BG Authors is a campus organization dedicated to highlighting authors connected to the university. BGSU has produced some amazing authors, including Beth Macy, James Baldwin, and Tim Conway, to name a few. Visit bgauthors.com and subscribe to the blog that regularly updates on new releases, classics, non-BGSU authors, and other features such as book versus movie. That's BG Authors at bgauthors.com.
And welcome back here to Falcon Radio and Falcon Media Sports Network's coverage of the BGSU Falcons season opener against the Lafayette Leopards. Falcons at the half, 17-0. And Foster and Artie, we talked about it a few minutes ago, or just about a minute ago. But what are you guys kind of taking away from this first half of the game for the Falcons?
A lot of running. I mean, we mentioned that earlier. A lot of running. They're living and dying by the run game right now. 31 total carries in between all the running backs and quarterback, 105 yards and a touchdown by Markel Porter just now before he went off to halftime. So they're living and dying by the run. Not a whole lot of passing thus far. Only 9 passing attempts for 51 yards from quarterback Drew Pine. But so far Falcons are up 17-0, so can't really complain. I mean, offense has looked a little sluggish at times in between those touchdowns, but it seems like they put together a nice drive at the end of the half to get some points.
And I wonder how much of that non-passing offense is affected by that big break we had. That they were maybe going to have more passing attacks, but because of that long break and that long wait, that they decided, we'll just stick with the run game. We know that in kind of bad weather that we've kind of just got through, it'll be harder to throw, and we'll just stick to the ground because we know we can beat any team on the ground.
And definitely, yeah, that rain delay has to have some effect on the players, like mentally, because, there's probably some physical effect, but mentally, like, you prepare to have this game and then to have it, stop for like 40 minutes, that's got to have some, mental effect on you and the team on how you're going to play this game.
Yeah, it slows down the momentum. You had the big kick return, so the emotions had to be high. You had to be hyped up. You had to have a lot of adrenaline. And then you go into the locker room for about 30 minutes, and you have to wait before you can play again. And then you got to get back on the field, and you got to get back in that headspace where you were about 30 minutes ago. It's kind of tough to manage as a team to, kind of regain that momentum. But, they added 10 points in the second half, a field goal, and then a touchdown. So it seems that they're still on the right path to a win here today.
Yeah, definitely for the Falcons, starting off 7-0, then going into that delay, and then, still being able to score 10 with Lafayette not being able to score anything. So for the Falcons, even with that delay, still having a strong start. A strong start, by the way, to this whole new era of Falcon football, because it's not just this is their season opener. New coach, many new players, like to have this kind of start for kind of a new era of Falcon football seems pretty promising for them.
Yeah, that's the start you want to have for any team on any year. Anyone wants to get out and run and get those, those kickoff return touchdowns can set the entire year's motion.
Yeah, and going back to that the mental feeling of this, like that has to be a good way mentally of starting it off. I'm sure Coach Eddie George and the players, they've got to have a much better feeling in this, locker room during this halftime than they would if it was 17-0 Lafayette.
Yeah, and even if Lafayette would have had a field goal or a touchdown or even one of those fourth down conversions where they were in Falcon territory and they just didn't convert, they would have a different feeling. Not as bad because they're still up 17-0 or if they were still leading, but they still have places to make better steps. But when they're leading 17-0 and they have this lead and they've looked very well rounded so far against Lafayette, you still take stuff away from the game, but you talk about like they are having a better feeling.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to take another quick break right now. When we come back, we'll see what's going on around the MAC. Foster will get you guys updates on those games we were watching during the rain delay. We'll also preview the second half, tell you what we could expect, as well as what adjustments and predictions both the Bowling Green Falcons and the Lafayette Leopards could make in the second half. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with all that coming up here on Falcon Radio.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Falcon Media Sports Network's halftime coverage of the Bowling Green Falcons season opener here on this Thursday evening. Started off as a rainy Thursday evening, though kind of better right now. Looking outside, cloudy, but hey, no rain or lightning, so
no more rain delay.
I guess what can you ask? What else can you ask for? All right, but anyways, Foster now here with, or you've been here with us, but Foster here with your Around the MAC update of some other games going on around the MAC.
That's right. Rutgers, Ohio's in a 7-point game. Rutgers lead Ohio 31-24. It's Ohio's ball. They're on the 50-yard line with 11:10 to play in the third. Kicking off just a little bit ago was Akron, Wyoming. Wyoming leads 3-0 in the second with 5:20 left to play. And just recently kicking off, as it just hit 8 o'clock, Buffalo and Minnesota has kicked off. Minnesota has the ball with 12:51 to play in a 0-0 game.
Yeah, with our rain delay, we'll be following those games a lot longer than we were probably expecting going into the when we were on the pregame show. But yeah, Artie and Foster, what are you guys expecting for this second half of play today?
I think kind of the same thing for the Falcons offense. A lot of runs, a lot of RPO action. We saw a lot of RPOs in the first half. I expect that to continue. I feel like maybe they're going to throw in a little bit more surprises, maybe a little more quick passes into the second half offense, maybe spark some things after they've sort of tried to run down the Lafayette defense. Yeah, I can't, for some reason I had trouble saying that, but
defense.
Kind of the defense, yes. That's the term I was looking for. And I expect the Falcons defense to play the same way. Very ferocious. They forced 6 out of 13 in passing so far, only allowed 9 total rushing yards. So I expect the same thing of the Falcons defense in the second half.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Falcons get the ball in the air just a little bit more. It doesn't have to be an entire air raid offense the second half, but just throw in 1 or 2 quick slant plays just to keep that defense out of all the men in the box so that when you do run the ball, you can have a much higher advantage because this offensive line has done a very good job of getting openings for the Falcons.
Yeah, and then for Lafayette, what do you expect them to do? No score for them at the half. What are you expecting them to do to try to, get back in the game, try to compete with these Falcons a bit?
I mean, you got to spark something somewhere. I'm not sure you're going to get it done on the ground, at least if the first half is any indication, only 9 total yards so far. You got to get stuff done through the air, which is probably scary, but you got to try some quick slants, some RPOs, something like that to just get your offense started. And, you got to find a way to contain the Falcons' running game as well on defense.
And maybe even throw in a trick play or two here. You've seen them try to run the ball plenty of times. Go into that, fake a run, throw it back with a flea flicker, and then take a shot down the field. But the Falcons have done a very good job of containing the air. Only 49 yards through the air for the Lafayette.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see how they respond to this first half, which for Lafayette, definitely not an ideal season opener for them so far. Still, though, only at the halftime. Anything could happen, as we know, so definitely got to keep listening to this game, see how the Falcons, the Leopards do in the second half of play. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with final thoughts, and we'll send things out to the field here on Falcon Radio.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Hey BGSU students, this is your opportunity to host your very own radio show or podcast. Get involved with Falcon Radio and quickly learn the skills you need to produce your own program. In 30 minutes or less, you'll be armed with the information you need to operate studio equipment, put on your own live shows, or recorded content. Students from all disciplines are encouraged to get involved and take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to use world-class facilities to create your own podcast. Falcon Radio, for Falcons, by Falcons.
And we are back here on the Falcon Media Sports Network halftime show. Lafayette not a great start for them. Falcons up 17-0. For Eddie George, though, and the new players of the Falcons, as well as the returning players, a pretty hopeful start to the season.
Oh, definitely. I mean, 17-0 already starting off your season with a halftime lead. It's definitely a good way to kick things off. You know, we talked about momentum on the pregame show, how you want to have consistency in the program underneath the new head coach, Eddie George. A lot of first 50 new players. So, I mean, to get off to a start like this, up 17, that's got to be good for the Falcons.
Yeah, and it hasn't just been on the offensive end. The defense has been strong the entire game. Multiple fourth down stops, 3-and-outs, maybe letting them get some room on a first and second down, but holding strong, not giving up long drives that they could score off of or letting them into Falcon territory.
Yeah, we'll get your final thoughts coming up in a few, but just for anybody who is worried about another rain delay, you know, if you're listening from somewhere else in wherever Radio Land is, and worried about another rain delay, got some good news for you. The National Weather Service forecasting for tonight a chance of showers, mainly before 10 p.m., only about precipitation chances about 40%. Otherwise, for tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a low dropping down near 52. So, you know, kind of chilly at tonight's game. I did hear from people there, though. We can't really do anything here about it on the radio, but an exciting halftime show. So, for the people who were able to make it, they got an exciting show. But for you guys, you got to hear from us.
That's just as exciting.
Nate. What do you mean? That is so exciting. Right? That is so much better. There's back there. They don't have a radio room. You know, they don't have the nice sights and sound of the Cooling Center. You know,
we didn't have to deal with the rain. We got to sit
inside.
Now
exactly. I mean, they got a nice halftime show, but they also got some rain, and they got to stand wherever they stand during a rain delay. So you know what? We got to at least stay nice and dry. And you know what? Like, usually the studio's kind of cold, but you know, it's nice in here today.
Honestly, I may have just been in here so many times and no longer noticing how cold it is in here. And it does feel nice. Maybe they finally fixed it.
And I don't think I've been in this radio studio enough to tell if it's actually cold or not. I feel it feels really nice.
Yeah, you can usually tell. Like, I know I've been in here where it's been like sweatshirt weather. So
you did have a sweatshirt coming in. You did take that off.
I did. Yeah, that's what I was surprised about. So, and I got, we got some new Falcon Media Sports Network. I got my polo on. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, nice in here, but you know, people out in the field enjoying that too. Definitely fun night to start off for the Falcons, and there was a lot of great events they had down there to get ready for tonight's season opener. President Rogers having his tailgate in the new Ziggy Zone. 750 students, I believe, got free food. Another 1,500 got was a Coach Eddie George jersey.
Bowling Green
number
jersey,
27.
Yeah, the 27 jerseys, yeah.
You would see some of them in the crowd on the ESPN broadcast.
Not just the crowd. I saw some people walking across campus with them earlier before the game started.
And there looked like a big turnout. I mean, I was kind of joking that, like, as I was walking here, everyone was walking in the other direction to head on out to the Doit. So,
I mean, if you got a free shirt. I mean, we know how much stuff Bowling Green gives away at events. So much free clothing and all that stuff. I would have liked one of those jerseys personally. I think that would have gotten me to the game. But, you know, I didn't have to go sit through the rain. You know, that was probably nice too.
Yeah, I mean, though, you know, if you're looking for something to do on a Thursday night, I mean, for us, though, too, being in, you know, the beginning of the season, it's a pretty nice night for football besides that rain, because 52 the low tonight, not dropping down to the temperatures we'll see, you know, come October, November for football games.
Yeah, those October, November, when snow starts to roll around on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
A slushy rain, snow mix. Yeah.
I mean, that can be good football weather.
You needed maybe a raincoat tonight, but at least you didn't need like a heavy winter coat to cheer on your Falcons.
I don't, but sometimes something about those games, those wintry games, always feels way more fun when you're watching them run through and then slide through the snow. It feels different.
We'll have to see if a few of our broadcasters, Sean and Andrew, and Tyler's out there with them too, see how you know, they were at the game tonight, because I gotta imagine they probably got some rain. You know, Carter, I believe Carter was out. Carter Leonard, he's running the recap for tonight's game, correct?
Yes, he is. Yes, so he is nice and snug in the press box, I believe. So he didn't have to deal with the rain.
I believe I think the entire team is actually in the press box today. I don't think Lafayette actually sent a team here. So I think everybody is inside the press box out of the weather.
So our crew at least got lucky tonight. I mean, probably, if anybody listening at the game right now, maybe they're a little bit jealous, but Falcon Media Sports Network crew hopefully stayed dry.
I feel like Nick Windholtz, the video operator, I believe he's doing video today. I think he did get caught in the rain, if I were to guess. Hopefully he kept that camera safe. I know he was bringing something to kind of cover it, I believe. So I believe the camera would be safe.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I'm sure he was probably taking all of the precautions to keep that camera dry because, and we should speak now too while we have a little bit more time. We have much more coverage besides just us talking and Sean and Andrew giving play-by-play action. You can check out more of our coverage on Falcon Media, BGFalconmedia.com. We'll have plenty more coverage after the game wraps up. We already have, we have got your previews, and we'll have that for every game this season and most of all the Falcon athletic coverage this season. You can go over to bgfalconmedia.com. You're probably on the website already now if you're listening to the game. You can, read some of those articles. And when the game's over, check on out our recap, our sidebar, hear all about what happened at the game tonight. So, Artie and Foster, thanks for joining me for the halftime show. We'll be back with you guys for post-game, but now it is time to send things back to the Doit with Sean and Andrew for more coverage of BGSU Falcon football. Hey guys, welcome back.
Thanks, Nate, for the halftime show over at the Cooling Center. Appreciate it. So back here at Doit L. Perry Stadium, Falcons are up 17-0 over the Lafayette Leopards. As the Falcons are going to kick it away to the Leopards to start off this second half.
Despite the score of the game, really, offense has been a struggle for both sides for both teams right now.
Yeah, really,
Drew Pine is only 7 of 9 for 51 yards in the first half.
Yeah, really no explosive plays other than play number 1 on the kickoff. There really hasn't been anything longer than 14 yards, and that was by Chris McMillan. So kickoff is away, and it's going to be not returned. So ball's going to be spotted at the 25-yard line for the Leopards offense and Dean DeNoble. Like you mentioned, they really haven't had anything going offensively on either side, but definitely notably on Lafayette's.
Dean DeNoble in the first half, 6 for 13 for 49 yards, sacked once.
Yeah, they really haven't had anything going offensively. A few first downs, but they couldn't really piece anything together on any of the drives. We'll see if they come out firing in the second half. But the defense, you got to credit the defense on Bowling Green's side. They've played really well, too. So it's got to be a mixture of both.
Yeah, they've been phenomenal today.
Dean DeNoble is going to play action pass. Nope, it's going to be a handoff. Looks like to Kensei Edwards. And he's going to be stuffed. Didn't think he got any yards there.
Really good tackle by Gideon Lampron right there to get him by the legs behind the line of scrimmage. That was a great play. Or not behind the line of scrimmage. A gain of 1 yard, excuse me.
A gain of 1. Again, way too early. I know that was only one play, but it seems like these offenses, I wouldn't say are predictable, but, we haven't really seen a ball, no one's really getting open, it seems like. And I know that was, a designed run, but we'll see. DeNoble is going to run the play action, and there he goes to the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. Looked like the receiver fell. Had a hand on it, though. That was looking for Carson Persing, but that's going to be incomplete. Bringing up a 3rd and long now, 3rd and 9.
Yeah, it just looks like the turf monster got him. He just kind of slipped and fell on his route.
Multiple times, balls have been on the receiver's hands. They just can't catch it. So 3rd and 9, DeNoble back to pass. Pressure being brought by the Falcons defense, but DeNoble's going to get away from it, and it's going to be taken down. Looks like by Evan Branch Haynes.
Really nice tackle on the scramble by DeNoble there. Branch Haynes did a great job of just snuffing it out before he had a chance to get anywhere.
It looked like potentially a face mask, but didn't look like that was going to be called.
Yeah. Tackled him high, but didn't seem to grab his face.
Nonetheless, it brings up 4th down, so the Falcons are going to get the ball back with at least decent field position. So Brennan Ridley again is going to be back to return the punt. This time a better punt. And it's going to be not returned, so This time at the 35-yard line of the Falcons. Falcons will get the ball. 13:30 to go, 17-0. Falcons are up. First time we see the Falcons offense in the second half. Again, some of the guys, we've mentioned how much, they went 31 rushes for 105 yards. Again, 14 was the longest of those yards. So they haven't really had any explosive plays on the ground. I mean, it's working. I mean, you're up 17-0. Obviously, something had to have happened correctly for them to be up by that amount.
Their drives have been long and methodical. I'm curious to see what kind of halftime adjustments they've made here.
Drew Pine under center. And it's going to be a play-action pass. First pass here. Eluding pressure, has all the time in the world, and he's going to be taken, and it's going to be actually caught this time. Jacob Harris. I don't know if it was definitely not intended for Harris. However, he caught it. Pine eluded pressure.
Yeah, that was a really good job by Pine by extending the play, getting outside with his legs, and I know he kind of accidentally dumped it off to Harris, but, it worked. He didn't get sacked, so, good decision by him.
Got back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10 now at the Falcons' 35. Pine is going to hand it off to Chris McMillan, and he's going to be taken nowhere again, so it's going to be 3rd and 10. As the Lafayette defense, again, seems like it's pretty predictable where they're going to go with it.
Yeah, he was hit pretty hard at the line of scrimmage by Dante Jackson.
So 3rd and 9, 12:20 to go. Pine back to pass, looking for the screen, can't find it, over the middle, caught this time by Jiron Johnson. This time it's going to be a first down. Jiron Johnson gets the first down and more across the 50. There's his first catch. He's had some opportunities. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to haul them in.
And there we go. That's the kind of offensive play calling I was looking for. They do a great job of just spreading out the defense and not getting everybody all to collapse in on the line of scrimmage. It gives Pine enough time to go through his reads, find his guy, and Johnson makes a great play up the middle.
Yeah, that was probably the best play call yet on offense, in my opinion, in terms of just explosiveness. And a timeout now by John Troxel and the Lafayette Leopards. So we'll take it with them. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
Many Americans have missed regular dental care in the past few years. It's important to see a dentist twice a year to identify any problems early. Taking care of your oral health helps overall health. Brushing at least twice a day with fluoride toothpaste and flossing daily can help prevent oral health problems. For more information, visit hrsa.gov/oral-health.
I need to pay my taxes. What are my payment options?
The IRS has several options for paying your taxes. You can pay with IRS Direct Pay, a debit or credit card, or with an electronic funds withdrawal when you e-file your return. If you can't pay the full amount, consider paying over time with an online payment agreement or our Offer in Compromise program. Both tools are available on irs.gov. Go to irs.gov/payment to find an option that is best suited for you.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Jiron Johnson with a 22-yard pickup there. Longest offensive play by either team. And that one came at a 3rd and 9, so a pretty big time. And they got across the 50 at the 42-yard line. So the Falcons now are in Leopard territory.
And I would just love to see more of that kind of play calling from Eddie George in this offense. I think that was a great call, and I'd love to see more of it throughout the second half.
Yeah, faked the screen, had Jaron Johnson over the middle. So I agree. I mean, that was probably, like I said, the best play call in terms of just, where you wanted it to go. So Drew Pine. Back to pass. Does the screen pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Looking for Allen Middleton, the transfer from Southern Illinois.
It was just outside of his hands, couldn't quite grab it.
So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. 11:45 to go here in the third quarter. Pine is going to fake the handoff. Pine still back to pass, looks for it, and it's going to be caught by McMillan. McMillan trying to go somewhere, and he's going to go about 5 yards.
Had a nice spin in there to get out of a tackle. That was an athletic move by McMillan to surge forward and get about 5 yards.
It's going to be 3rd and 5. Now the ball at the 37. Cameron Petaway, the running back. Pine back to pass. Pressure being brought. Pine looking, trying to find somebody. He keeps it, and he's going to be taken down. Pumped it, and then just kept it. Ended up being taken down now, I'd assume.
That was a loss of 1, so it looks like they're going to bring out the punt team here.
It looks like they're bringing out the field goal unit. So Jackson Cleather already has a field goal earlier in the game, a 30-yard field goal. Yes. So this one's attempted for about a 56-yard field goal. Ball's at the 38. There is a return man. So they're attempting to go here for the field goal. Cleather has it up, and Cleather has it through the uprights.
Wow.
Cleather got it, 56-yarder.
Wow. What a fantastic kick by Cleather, a 56-yarder. That's a really, really good kick.
Great kick by Cleather. That it exceeds what he had last year. He had a 50-yarder against Toledo, and now he has a 56-yarder against Lafayette. So adds to the Bowling Green lead, making it 20-0 now for the Falcons.
That kick had plenty of leg to it. He could have been a yard or two back and still would have gotten it through.
Yeah, that wasn't even close to the returner. So, yeah, I mean, you could have added another 4 or 5 yards onto that. I think it would have still been good. Right down the middle, too. Didn't flirt with the goalpost. So, yeah, just a great kick by Jackson Cleather. Already made one earlier from 30. That one from 58, or 56, rather.
Career-long kick.
So the Falcons expand the lead to 20-0 now. 10-11 to go here in the third quarter. Zach Long to kick it off. And not returned again by Lafayette.
After an impressive drive by the Bowling Green offense, we'll see if their defense can follow suit and have another dominant performance.
I mean, they've been having a pretty dominant performance all game long, so ball's now at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Leopard offense. Second drive in the second half here for the Leopards. DeNoble fakes the handoff. Pressure being brought. He has to elude pressure. He's going to just take it himself. and he's going to be taken down out of bounds. Maybe a pickup of about 4, maybe 3 yards there. So,
yeah, that was just a good pursuit by MJ Cannon and Khalil Pascal to make sure that he didn't get any yards.
4-yard pickup there. Ball at the 29 now. Clock rolling just under 10 minutes. With the Falcons up by 20. So DeNoble in the shotgun formation, a back to his left, a back to his right. And he is going to fake the handoff again. This time he's going to take it again. And this time he's going to get the first down. Now at the 39-yard line. Picks up the first down, moves the chains.
That was the second time we've seen this kind of read option play here, and both times they've been for pretty substantial gains for the Lafayette offense here, and that was a good run by DeNoble.
DeNoble now back to pass. This time he's going for it all. He's got it, and it's going to be incomplete. And a flag being thrown very late, but that looked like pass interference.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of contact by the defender number 2, MJ Cannon.
Yeah, MJ Cannon on the coverage there.
Getting a little bit too handsy.
And they're going to pick up the flag. No foul on the play.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Maybe they were saying it wasn't a catchable ball, which would
negate the penalty.
Yeah, negate the penalty is right. So that would make it 2nd and 10 for the Leopards offense now at the 36-yard line. DeNoble, this time is the pass. It's going to be caught. Ethan Hosak flirts with the first down. Does he get it? Jonathan Moyer actually on the pass.
It doesn't look like they're going to give it to him. He's just 2 yards short.
8-yard pickup, so it's going to be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, still a good play by Hosak. They're getting on the outside and turning upfield for a couple extra yards.
So DeNoble is going to hand it off, and he's going to get the first down.
Kind of had to bulldoze his way forward to get any yards, but still does a good job of getting the first down and moving the sticks.
So they do move it. Eight minutes to go here in the third quarter. Falcons up 20-0. DeNoble is going to fake the pitch. This time it's going to be a crossing route, and he's got a man wide open. It's going to be a first down. That was Carson Persing over the middle to the sideline. Moving the chains again, so back-to-back first downs now for the Lafayette Leopards.
Really good play design right there by the Leopards. The fake pitch, and then that leaves your guy Carson Persing wide open on a crossing route that he can turn upfield and get about 12, 13 yards out of it.
Definitely their best drive of the day. Now in Falcon territory at the 39-yard line. DeNoble is going to take it himself, and DeNoble has some space down the sideline, and he's going to be taken out. This time again moving the chains. Designed run, he took it.
I believe that was actually the backup quarterback, Jason Penza, who took that run and went upfield.
Are they going to call it back? Looks like they are. Block in the back by Ethan Hosak, and it's going to bring them all the way back. So they had a big positive right there, and they have to take it all the way back. Just an unfortunate set of events there for Lafayette.
That's an absolute momentum killer. You know, you're picking up this momentum, you're turning out first down, and then a huge setback with the big penalty.
So a 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for Lafayette. DeNoble back to pass to the side. It's going to be tipped, but still caught. Carson Persing is going to be met at the line of scrimmage. So, and there's some movement in the backfield there. Jalen McMillan gets taken down. I'm not sure the defender.
Crowd is not happy with that.
Crowd not happy about that. It was right after the play, so.
I think he pushed him down. Looked like they're going to hurry and get the snap off so it doesn't get flagged.
2nd and 11. Fakes the handoff to Noble, and that's going to be caught this time by Elijah Stewart. And that one's going to be caught for a first down out to the sideline. And that one just gains back what they had already lost.
Yeah, that was a really good route ran by the Elijah Stewart there. A good comeback route, and then he makes the defender Keon Washington miss, and he gets a couple extra yards out of it.
And Noble's going to give the handoff this time to Ethan Weber for a pickup of about 3.
It's just another short run. Clock continues to tick down to under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter.
So it's going to be a 2nd and 8. Ball at the Falcon 21. Lafayette knocking on the door for the first time today. DeNoble back to pass. Pressure being brought. He just has to give away, and it does. And this one is caught, and it's going to be near the first down line. That looks to be Kente Edwards on the catch. Again, near the first down.
Yeah, that was a nice little slip screen that was well executed by Edwards. There is a flag down, though.
And this isn't good. McClellan is hurt. That is a team captain, one of your better cornerbacks. On the ground, trainers out there helping him out.
In a good amount of pain there.
He was in a good amount of pain. I don't know if it's just cramps or what, but we're going to take it with him. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer because everything that's learned is shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
What if you were wearing something sexy? What if you were drinking? What if you made the first move? No matter what, sexual assault is never your fault. Support is available 24/7 through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Call 1-800-656-HOPE or visit RAINN.org. That's RAINN.org. This is Christina Ricci with RAINN, reminding you it's never your fault.
Brought to you by RAINN and this station.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
I had this illness that really made me powerless over alcohol, and that insisted that I got drunk. And so I got drunk. It doesn't have anything to do with trying to control it. An alcoholic who picks up the first drink will pick up the second drink. I can't say to anyone, no, don't drink. But I can say that when you decide you don't want to drink, come to AA. The door to AA is always open.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a...
First and goal for the Lafayette offense. 5:18 to go here in the third quarter. Falcons up 20-0. Like I said, first time Lafayette's really knocking on the door here of the Falcons. First time in the red zone for the Leopards. And looking for the end zone. It's going to be incomplete.
Just overshot him. He had enough separation.
So Noble is looking for the corner of the end zone. And yeah, just overshot him a little bit. JoJo Johnson was the intended receiver. This is going to bring up 2nd and goal. DeNoble is going to hand the ball off, and it's going to be taken up for a positive gain. But it's going to bring up 3rd down. Ball on the 3, so pick up a 4 there.
Yeah, Lafayette really knocking on the door now, all the way down to the 3-yard line. That was a good little run up the middle by Edwards.
And again, I wouldn't be surprised if they do run the ball again, because I'm assuming they're going to go for it.
I know I would if I don't get it here.
Third and goal here for the Leopards. And it is going to be a handoff, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to lose some yards, and yep, I said expect the run, and they did.
Fantastic job by this Bowling Green defense, led by MJ Cannon, that push. He lost 2 yards on the play. That was a really good defensive stand.
And yep, to no one's surprise, offense is going to stay out onto the field. 4th and goal. Again, it seems like anytime they're even remotely across the 50, they're going to go for it, which I can't really blame John Troxel, head coach of Lafayette.
I think down 20 here, I think this is the right call.
Under 4 minutes, and DeNoble back to pass. Pressure being brought. He's got to elude pressure. Trying to find something in the back of the end zone. He does. Touchdown, Lafayette. Elijah Stewart in the back of the end zone, captain to captain. Leopards are on the board for the first time in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, Dean DeNoble did a really good job on that play, extending the play out with his legs. You know, defenders were closing in around him, and he wasn't letting him get to him. And then he just sees Elijah Stewart in the back of the end zone for the free touchdown.
He was able to escape the pressure, was running out of time. If he decided to run, he wasn't going to get there. So, yeah, nice play by DeNoble to find his number 1 receiver in the end zone to get on the board. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. So it's going to be 20-7 now, with Bowling Green getting the ball back. And a media timeout, and we'll take it with them. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
I didn't think it was possible for me to be an alcoholic. I was 24 with a good career. I thought I was too smart and that alcoholism only happened to middle-aged men and celebrities. I thought something else was making me sick, shaky, and afraid to face people. Then I found AA and discovered it wasn't something else, it was alcohol. AA helped me find a new life.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find out.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on, and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
In mid-2017, we received the news that nobody wants to hear your child has cancer. St. Jude made us feel that everything was gonna be alright. It's like an army of people working together, following the same dream, which is getting 100% success rate for curing childhood cancer.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Lafayette on the board, making it a 20-7 lead for Bowling Green. DeNoble found Stewart in the back of the end zone. Stewart already matching his touchdowns from a year ago. A year ago he had 635 yards for 1 touchdown. This time getting his first touchdown in the first game of the year and making the deficit only 13 now. But the Falcons are getting the ball back.
Have to see how they respond here once showing adversity.
The first kickoff, we'll see why Lafayette, since the first one that got returned by Cameron Petaway. Will we see it again? Kick is up and kick is away. And it is going to be caught, and it's going to be taken by Cameron Petaway. He's at the 20. Cameron Petaway with some move. Cameron Petaway, he's across the 50. Cameron Petaway across the 50 and taken down. Wow. Cameron Petaway, have a night.
2 huge returns. Jeez. I know that one didn't quite go all the way, but still, that had to have been 60 yards. Cameron Petaway is having himself a day.
Already making his presence known, not to kick to him. He's only had 2 kicks returned to him. One for a touchdown. That one, like you said, probably for around 60 yards. They're already across the 50 at the 42-yard line. Great field position. Thanks to Cameron Petaway.
Making it super easy on his offense to go down and score points and punch back.
It's now Drew Pine in the offense. And it's going to be a handoff. This one is to Kadarius Roberts. And Kadarius Roberts gets a first down and a little more. Kadarius Roberts moves the chains.
That was a really impressive run by Kadarius Roberts, you know, just kind of like the Red Sea opened up and he just shot through there like a cannon.
Already just like that at the 28-yard line to Lafayette for the Falcon offense. So 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. What a response it would be to get those 7 points back that they just gave up. So it's going to be a handoff again to Kadarius Roberts. Kadarius Roberts is going to be taken down near the line of scrimmage.
Hit hard at the end of his run.
If he got any, it would be maybe about 1. And he got 2. So it's going to be 2nd and 8. Ball at the 26.
Still some fantastic field position here.
So Roberts still in the game for a back. And whistles being blown. Looks like a timeout's being called by the Bowling Green offense. Eddie George calls his first timeout of the half to talk things over. With 2:09 to go here in the third quarter, a 2nd and 8 coming up. Ball at the 26. We'll stay here. I mean, Andrew, already you're knocking on the door. Of course, after, we saw at least some passes on the last drive. And now you have one that, you start. This time you got the run going now. Now what do you expect? I mean, it's 2nd and 8. Do you expect another run, or do you think they pass here?
I mean, I expect another run, but I think they should take a shot at the end zone because it is 2nd down. I think you could run the ball, but I do think that's a predictable move given where you are on the field. But I think maybe you can see to get a guy open around the 5, maybe even into the end zone, and just take a shot and see if your quarterback has the arm to do it.
So Drew Pine in the shotgun formation. Kadarius Roberts. 2 is left. And it's going to be a back to pass. Pine looking for the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. Got shot. That one was intended.
It was intended for Kadarius Roberts.
Kadarius Roberts. And there seems to be an injured leopard on the field. Yeah. I mean, that was beautifully placed in terms of where the ball needed to be. But unfortunately, the defender got there before Kadarius Roberts was able to call it in.
Kind of walloped him, and now we have a Lafayette player down on the field.
So they did take that shot, not necessarily to the end zone. That was about at the 10-yard line. But still, I like how they're trying to throw the ball a little more.
I like the aggressive nature of that call.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 8. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Again, Lafayette now made the deficit just to 13 after Elijah Stewart found the end zone on their last drive. Leopard is still down on the field.
A couple people around him. Looks like he's standing up, and he's going to be able to walk off.
Looks to be Callahan Blair, the D end. Spent 1 year at Vanderbilt prior to college. 3-year prospect out of Palm Harbor, Florida. So he's going to be taken off. Yeah, good to see he's okay. Yeah. So
6'5",
brings up a
231
3rd and
sophomore
8 for the Falcons offense. I mean, even if they do probably get half of this, I wouldn't be surprised if they do go for it. I know Cleather has made 2 for 2 on the field goals, but I would expect them wanting a touchdown. Pine back to pass.
A lot of
Trying
time
to find someone. Eludes pressure. He might just take it himself. He does, and he's going to be near the first down. He didn't get it, but he's going to be probably a yard or 2 short, which is going to bring up 4th down. And it looks like the field goal unit will come out. So he's going to be 4th and 3. Ball at the 21. It's going to be a 39-yard field goal now.
I mean, if he can drill 56, surely he can handle 39 yards.
Trying to make the lead 16 for the Falcons. Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and it is good. So Cleather 3 for 3 on field goals today. That one for 39, one earlier for 30, and the last one was for 56. So he's 3 for 3. Now the Falcons are up 23-7 over the Leopards.
Cleather performing very well today. As you said, he was 3 out of 3 in field goal attempts, and then of course he's hit both extra points. Doing good so far. And now we'll see how the Lafayette offense responds to this this field goal here.
An update out of Rutgers. Ohio is only down 34-31 with 3:56 to go in that game. Rutgers does have the ball at the 47-yard line. So we'll keep you updated on whether the Ohio Bobcats out of the MAC can pull off the upset over the Big Ten team. So Zach Long to kick it away to Lafayette. And we will see this one returned. And it's going to be taken, and he has some space, and it's going to be taken out of bounds. That one another big yard.
Seems that kick returns have been pretty explosive today. He gets this one all the way out to the 35. 38, excuse me. But Jaquir Henley giving his offense some pretty good field position at the 38-yard line. Special teams seems to be the name of the game here tonight.
Clearly, yeah. A couple field goals, kick return. Almost another kick return by Petaway. So, yeah, special teams clearly is the name of the game here tonight. So now DeNoble is going to take the run, and the designed run is going to go for about 4 yards. DeNoble near midfield.
I believe that was the backup quarterback, Jason Penza, actually, who took that handoff. Or not handoff, but took the snap.
And you are correct. Yep, Jason Penza. Have similar numbers. He's 15, DeNoble is 16.
Dean DeNoble was lined up at receiver out there.
So nice catch there, Andrew. And something to note is Jalen McClellan is back into the game, so he must have just been cramping up earlier when he was hurt. So this one isn't going to be another designed run by Penza, and Penza's going to get the first down across the 50, and he's going to be met by some Falcons at about the 48-yard line. That probably will be the last play of the third quarter, and McClellan is slow to get up again. Eager to know if that's just going to be, if he's just cramping up, maybe his ankle hurts, who knows, but probably will be the last play of the third quarter if they do get it off.
Doesn't look like they're going to.
They do not. So end of the third quarter, Bowling Green up 23-7. And when we return, it'll be the start of the fourth quarter. Ball at the 48-yard line. Leopards having another good drive. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
If you served honorably in our nation's armed forces and you're looking for a way to continue serving your fellow veterans and your community, then join AMVETS. Each year, AMVETS members volunteer millions of hours at VA healthcare facilities from coast to coast, helping to improve the lives of their fellow veterans through the VA Voluntary Services Program. AMVETS posts and departments also participate in a wide variety of community service projects, ranging from Americanism in our schools to supporting the Special Olympics and Boy Scouts of America. Even if you no longer wear the uniform today, you can still serve through the AMVETS by joining today at amvets.org.
First and 10 for the Leopards as we enter the fourth quarter. Bowling Green up 23-7. First play of the fourth quarter. Ball at the 48-yard line. Lafayette having another good drive they're putting together here. Had a good one last time as they put up 7 points. This one they're across the 50 already. DeNoble back to pass. He's going to have to elude pressure, and he's going to get brought down, going nowhere.
Hit hard in the backfield. Sacked by David Afago. It's a bit of a low snap, too. It nearly hit the ground when he was trying to field it.
So a loss of 5 there by DeNoble. 2nd and 15 now, as they're now back in Leopard territory at their own 47. DeNoble back to pass. Another more pressure being brought. This time it's going to be a screen up the middle, and this one's going to be taken, and it's going to be maybe a pickup of about 4 as he's around the 50-yard line. Nonetheless, it brings up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 12. Ball at the 50.
That was a nice little dump off to his running back, but still a lot of work to do here on 3rd down.
And DeNoble is going to get his pass complete, and it's not going to be to a 1st down.
Makes it to the 40, needed to get to the 38.
Mason Kuhner. However, I think I'm close enough that they're going to probably want to go for it. Yep, 4th and 3. John Troxel electing to go for it. No surprises there. He's gone for it already, and he was going for it around this time, or around this area of the field in the 1st quarter. So 16-point ball game. I expect him to go for it now, and he does. Falcon fans making some noise. 13-13 to go here in the 4th quarter. 4th and 3. DeNoble back to pass. Eludes some pressure. Going for it all. It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. That one by Elijah Stewart.
What an impressive play right there by Lafayette. Elijah Stewart does a great job of getting separation by running the go route, and Dean DeNoble puts it in the only place that his receiver could get it.
However, a flag is going to be called, and that one's coming back. Spencer Adams holding, and the big play, unfortunately, is going to be called back. That one was going to be Elijah Stewart down to the 11. That was going to have him knocking right back onto the door. So it's going to be 4th and 10 now.
That's another big play negated by a penalty.
Head coach John Troxel electing to go for it again. 4th and 8, rather. Just under 13 minutes to go, so they're going to still go for it. Again, that well-designed play, unfortunately, has to come back. DeNoble, back to pass. This time he's going to go for it again, and this one is going to be incomplete. So a turnover on downs by the Leopards gives the Falcons the ball back at the 46-yard line.
I mean, really good attempt on the catch, but unfortunately just couldn't quite haul it in. Really athletic play, just could not quite execute on there. And now Bowling Green has the ball on their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
For a second, I thought he caught it.
Me too.
A very similar play in terms of where they wanted to go with the ball, to the sideline. I think it was a different receiver.
I believe it was, yes.
So 12-25 now for the Falcons, up 23-7 for the Falcons offense. And another rush by the Falcons, and this one is going to be Chris McMillan this time. Picking up 2 yards, so a 2nd and 8 now.
Kind of going back to what they were doing in the first half with all these short rushes up the middle.
37 rushes for the Falcons to just 11:50 to go here in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 8. Pine, this time is going to be a pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Looking for a little out route to Win Sharp, a local kid from Anthony Wayne, but he couldn't haul that one in as it was a little bit behind him. That one would have only gone for about 4 yards anyway.
I mean, I like the play call here. You know, get it to one of your playmakers. Just could not quite execute.
So 3rd and 8 at the 48-yard line. You're going to have to get a 1st down to extend the drive here. 11:39 to go here in the 4th quarter. Falcons up 23-7. Pine is going to hand the ball off. This one is going to be taken, and it's going to be Cameron Petaway down near the sticks. Markel Porter.
I believe that's his second rush of the game.
And Eddie George electing to also go for it. It's going to be 4th and 2 now. Just over 11 minutes to go, and they're electing to go for it near midfield too. So Drew Pine.
A bit of a gutsy call here, but
maybe they're just trying to draw him off sides. Run down the clock maybe a little bit. We'll see.
Combination of both. Or they're
and yep, timeout looks to be called by Eddie George.
See a flag down there.
And a delay game. So
possibly
just
for
giving
more room to punt, it looks like.
Yeah, John Henderson some more room to punt with 10:51 to go. So that drive only 2 yards picked up. Or 8 yards picked up, rather. So John Henderson out to punt. Mason Keener back to receive for the Leopards. Henderson gets the punt away, and it's a beautiful punt. And what a punt! Did he stay in? Took a great bounce, and it looks like it's going to be spotted at the 3. What a punt by Henderson.
Wow. Fantastic punt and a really good decision, honestly, to give him those 5 extra yards to kick. Because if he hadn't had those 5 yards, that would have been a touchback. But instead, Lafayette has to get the ball on their own 2-yard line.
Eddie George called him a cyborg at the press conference, and now I see why. So Lafayette will get the ball at the 2-yard line when we return. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
The IRS is urging people to beware of ads that promise big money by claiming the Employee Retention Tax Credit. This is a real tax credit that helps businesses that were affected by the pandemic, but scammers are telling people they qualify when they don't. The scammer takes a fee and your personal information. If you're not eligible for the credit, getting conned by this could cost you a lot. The IRS doesn't want that to happen to you, so check the official information at irs.gov/ERC.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to rain.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit rain.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
Here's that song again. Here's that song again. For the 100th time today. Here's that song again. It's gonna be stuck in your head all day. Here's that song again. It will make you cray, cray.
You love your kids enough to watch that TV show a bajillion times. Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat for their age and size. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
10:21 remains here in the fourth quarter. Bowling Green up 23-7 over Lafayette. Ball spotted at the 3-yard line thanks to a beautiful punt by John Henderson to pin him back. It's now DeNoble and the offense from their own 3. And it's going to be a handoff. And he's going to be met maybe for a pickup of 2, if that.
At this point, they really just need to give themselves a little bit of space between the ball and the end zone, because if you drop back to pass right now and you get sacked in the end zone, that's 2 free points for Bowling Green.
Kensei Edwards right there for the for the carry. So that was a pickup of 3. Now we're just under 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Gives them a little more breathing room. And DeNoble is going to hand the ball off again to Edwards, and that one's going to be near the sticks, potentially for a first down. Maybe a little short. Something to note, too. Bowling Green's opponent, the Cincinnati Bearcats, just kicked off against Nebraska at Arrowhead. We'll give you updates as we see fit. But yes, next week, Bowling Green travels to Nippert Stadium down in Cincinnati. We'll have the call of that. Myself, alongside Lucas Kleinmeyer, will be on the call. Kickoff is at 3:30 next week at Cincinnati. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 now for the Lafayette offense. DeNoble is going to hand the ball off again, and he's going to get the first down. Edwards again. And he does get the first down.
I do think running the ball here in this situation, I do think that's the right call, and it actually looks like we have a Bowling Green player down on the field right now.
We do have an injured player for the Falcons. Media timeout. When we discover who that is, we'll let you know. If not, we're going to take it with them. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio. We'll actually stay here. So 8:52 to go here in the fourth quarter. 23-7. Bowling Green is up. Is that McClellan again? The media sign is blocking who it is from my angle. Doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's Kal-El Pascal. He is up. Don't know what happened.
I didn't get a super good view of the play. It seems to be something with his leg, though.
Looks like he needs help getting off. Yeah, looks like his leg is pretty injured.
He is standing with the help of a couple of trainers, but
so he's able to walk off. However, gives the defense a little bit of a breathing room after first down now for the Leopards rather. When we return. So you're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit rain.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by Rain and this station.
We are the boy band. Your tween made you see. We are the boy band. It's Painful Concert number 3. We are the boy band. We're 5 and 19. We are the boy band. Always singing on key.
You love your kids enough to take them to see their favorite band. Love them enough to make sure they're buckled up in the back seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
8:52 to go here in the fourth quarter. Lafayette with the ball at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10.
Running out of time here in the game if they want to mount a comeback. Because surely if they give up the ball, Bowling Green's going to do the best they can to chew the clock.
And it's Panza, actually, that's going to do it. And it's going to be a little bit of a trick play, and this one's going nowhere. This one is disaster.
Almost intercepted.
Looking for a flea flicker. It was Penza that threw it back to DeNoble, and DeNoble tried doing something. That could have been really bad.
It looks like he was supposed to go Penza to DeNoble, back to Penza, and then downfield, but it never quite got there. Penza being the backup quarterback.
Not sure what kind of play call that was, considering they're at their own 14. So 2nd and 10 now. DeNoble is the quarterback. Back to pass. Looking for the sideline. It's going to be incomplete. Off the hands of Carson Persing.
Yeah, and that's really just another drop for this Lafayette receiving core. We've seen a lot of balls hit the player's hands and then not being able to come down with it. Now they're staring at a 3rd and long on their own 14.
Yeah, so 3rd and 10 now. Like you mentioned, at the 14-yard line in their own territory. $8:41 to go here in the fourth quarter. DeNoble back to pass. Looking, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Persing again. Great coverage right there by Jalen McClellan. Again, the transfer from Tennessee State last year had 66 total tackles, 1 interception, and 15 pass blocks. Had one right there. So 4th and 10 brings out the punting unit, Christian Bush.
And McClendon's been having a really good game in coverage so far.
That's why it was a little alarming seeing him on the ground a little earlier, but like I said, must have just been cramps. Punting away, almost got to it.
Almost blocked it.
And ooh.
Oh, and the returner fell.
The returner fell. Ridley did not touch it, thankfully. Or else that would have been disaster, but a good punt by Christian Bush there. So the Falcons will get the ball at the 29-yard line.
I do think at this point, I think you should lean on the ground game a little bit because you got 8 minutes to go in the game, and I think if you're Eddie George, you're looking to just run down the clock and walk out of here with the first win of his Bowling Green career.
Yeah, now it makes a little more sense to run the ball. 38 rushes already this game by the Falcons. Haven't seen much of the pass game.
Only 78 passing yards.
Pine is going to pitch the ball. That one looks to be Petaway, and Petaway is going to be taken down for about a pickup of 3.
A little bit of shoving kind of downfield with one of the O-linemen and a DB. Yeah, that was a nice little pitch out to Petaway there, and he daggers ahead for a couple.
So now under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Like you said, it now makes a little more sense to run the ball on the ground. 2nd and 7. This time is going to be a pass, and this one is going to be complete.
Long throw.
Long throw up opposite side, and this one has some space.
Whoa.
And gets the first down. Trying to see who that was.
R.J. Garcia.
Yeah, that was R.J. Garcia's second completion of the game to Garcia, and that one, a couple good moves, and he's across the 50 now at the 43 in Leopard territory.
That was a really good play design and a really nice play call by Eddie George. I love it.
Drew Pine's going to give the handoff to Petaway, and Petaway is going to be near the first down, probably a pickup of about 8.
Very good run, right up the gut for like you said, about 8 yards. So it's just more good execution by this O-line and run game.
Just under 7 minutes for the Falcons. 2nd and 4 now, ball at the 37. Pine is going to give the handoff to Kadarius Roberts, and Roberts is going to pick up the first down near the 22-yard line.
That's back-to-back really impressive runs by this Bowling Green offense. I hope we continue to see more of that down the stretch.
So now ball at the 23-yard line. Pine, this time it's going to be a pass. This one is going to be complete. Looks like to Jacob Harris. And it is to Jacob Harris.
Made quite an athletic catch. Looks like the Lafayette was in man coverage, and he was manned up, and he still did a really good job of going up and grabbing the ball out of the air with his hands.
So 6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4 at the 18-yard line. .5:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Pine is going to give the handoff to Roberts, and he's going to be taken nowhere.
Roberts, the ball carrier. Stop by number 8.
Brings up a 3rd and 4 as we near 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
That was the 42nd running play called throughout the entire game so far.
Brings up a 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4, 5 minutes to go exactly. Ball on the 18. An empty backfield for Drew Pine. Pine back to pass. Has some pressure being brought. Finds a guy, and it's going to be incomplete. In and out of the hands of Kadarius Roberts.
He was open, and it was a good play call, good design. He just couldn't come down with it.
So now brings out Jackson Cleather, who's already 3 for 3. Now looking for a 36-yard field goal. Had a 30-yard field goal earlier, a 39, and a 56. So has the chance to go 4 for 4. Snap high, but the kick is up, and it is good. So Cleather has himself a ball game. Going 4 for 4 on field goals, making it 26-7 Bowling Green. Up by 19 points now with just under 5 minutes to go. So when we return, we'll see the Lafayette offense, see if they can get back down to the field and score another touchdown. But this one appears to be pretty much over. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
Follow and engage with BG Falcon Media on social media. Find the handle at BG Falcon Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all sorts of content, including news information, BGSU athletics coverage, and feature stories from across campus. Enjoy specialty content such as full episodes of the local music showcase, Live and Loud. The coverage continues with BG Falcon Media on all major social platforms.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The IRS is urging people to beware of ads that promise big money by claiming the Employee Retention Tax Credit. This is a real tax credit that helps businesses that were affected by the pandemic, but scammers are telling people they qualify when they don't. The scammer takes a fee and your personal information. If you're not eligible for the credit, getting conned by this could cost you a lot. The IRS doesn't want that to happen to you, so check the official information at irs.gov/ERC.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back into Doyle Perry Stadium, where Bowling Green has the 26-7 lead over the Lafayette Leopards with 4:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. Bowling Green looking to stamp Eddie George's first win at the FBS level. He went 24-22 as a head coach at Tennessee State. looking for his first win here at Bowling Green. Zach Long kicks it away, and this one will be returned. And it's going to be taken down at about the 25-yard line.
Wouldn't have really made a difference whether he'd called for a fair catch or just taken that one down. Now we look to see if Bowling Green's defense can really put this one away or if Lafayette can mount to drive and score.
Ball marked at the 24-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Jason Penza looks to be the quarterback. Backup saw some action already today. Used designed for QB runs, and we saw a lot of that today when he would come in. So probably just getting some extra reps as this game, like I said, pretty much wrapped, and it's going to be a handoff. This one to Jakira Henley. And that one's going to be taken out of bounds.
Yeah, he got upended by number 1, Keon Washington.
Pick up a 4 there. Penza gets the handoff. It's going to be back over to Henley, and Henley's probably going to grab another 2 yards there. Brings up 3rd down with just 4 minutes to go here in the ball game.
Looking at the sideline for their play call.
So 3rd and 5, ball at their own 29-yard line. Penza, high snap. Looking this time to throw the ball, and it looks to be complete. I don't know if he got the first down, though. It looks like he might be marked short. Nope, they're going to move the chains. I thought he might have caught the ball, and his knee might have been down behind the chains, but looks like they're going to move him. So 1st down, and a 1st and 10 now for the Leopards on the 35-yard line. Penza is going to give the handoff, this one to Ethan Weber, and Weber goes to the outside and maybe grabs about 4 yards.
You know, for a team that's down by 19, I don't really see a whole lot of urgency or aggression in their play calling here. It kind of makes you wonder what their mindset is at this point.
Yeah, maybe just trying to get some of these players some reps. Like I said, backup quarterback is in.
Yeah.
Maybe just trying to.
Yeah. Looks like a few of the receivers are different too.
2.5 minutes to go. There will be a 2-minute timeout. 2nd and 7, ball at the 38. This one will be another handoff to Weber, and Weber is going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage. So that will probably take us to the 2-minute timeout.
He was stopped by Darius Lorfils.
So the 2-minute timeout. Falcons up 26-7. When we return, a 3rd and 7 for the Leopards. You're listening to Falcon Football on Falcon Radio.
There I was in my business suit, all dressed up, just uptight as I could possibly be. And I don't remember much of what was said at that first AA meeting. It was more the feeling of the meeting itself.
That's what has kept me going. I know it works, and I see the people ahead of me with more sobriety. I see how happy they are. And I want that. I want that too.
And what I notice about AA is it sort of helps me to relax and learn to really be happy with my sobriety. It's a richer life to live.
That's exactly what Alcoholics Anonymous does. It teaches us how to live without drinking. It teaches us how to have fun and really enjoy life without drinking.
This program's given me the good life. The only good life I've ever known.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a...
If you're in need of affordable housing in Bowling Green, Falcon Media has got you covered with apartmentsforrentbowlinggreen.com. This website provides an interactive way to search for apartments, townhomes, and houses for rent in Bowling Green. Housing gets secured quickly in Bowling Green, So, it's never too early to start your search for a great place to live near campus. Take the hassle out of apartment finding. Visit apartmentsforrentbowlinggreen.com. Brought to you by BG Falcon Media.
My life was going downhill fast. Everybody was on my case. Now, I kept hoping that life would change real soon. I knew drinking too much messed up my life. A friend suggested I check out AA. It worked. I found myself in an AA group. Finally, I've got my act together.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Millions of people all over the world go hungry while we waste our land and water resources. Did you know that raising animals for human consumption uses 8 times as much water as growing fruits, vegetables, and grains? And that the same amount of land can produce 17 times more soybean protein than meat protein? For great vegetarian recipes, write People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. That's PETA, Norfolk, Virginia, 23510. Thanks.
2 minutes to go here. Bowling Green up 26-7. Leopards just trying to run out the clock. It seems like no real early urgency to try and take any downfield shots. Backup quarterback is in, Jason Penza. 3rd and 7 now. Ball at the 38. Penza back to pass this time. Penza getting taken down, and he's going to be taken down this time. Second sack of the night for the Bowling Green defense.
Yeah, very good job by this pass rush. He was sacked by number 23, Miles Bradley. That was a really good job by the Bowling Green defensive front to get some pressure on that young quarterback and bring him down.
So the punting unit is going to come out for Lafayette. They do have 2 timeouts, but I can't imagine they use them, so might just be in victory formation for the Falcons. Brennan Ridley calling fair catch. That one now at the 30-yard line.
Brennan Ridley with the fair catch at the 29-yard line.
If the score sticks 26-7, this will be the 3rd time in Bowling Green history that score has happened. Something really fun added to the game notes this year I saw that was a scoregami. It's kind of taken the internet by storm, especially in the NFL. Everyone wants to see if it's going to be a brand new score in any game. But yeah, this will be the 3rd time, if this score holds up, that it'll be a 26-7 ball game. And it looks like Lucian Anderson, the backup quarterback for the Falcons, is going to be in. And this one's going to be a handoff.
Nice to see some of the guys kind of lower on the depth chart, get a couple reps in here toward the end of the game.
Yeah, Lucian Anderson last year used primarily for runs. Last year had 19 carries for 67 yards and 2 TDs, one including one against Fordham, another Patriot League team that the Falcons faced. And this one more than likely will be the last play of the game. So Lucian Anderson.
Looks like they're just going to take a knee here and walk out with a win.
Takes a knee, and Eddie George starts out his coaching career at the FBS level 1-0 with a 26-7 victory over the Lafayette Leopards. All starting by Cameron Petaway, taking it 98 yards to the house. And what a win for the Falcons. It may have looked, like I said, I expected maybe some more passes, but at the end of the day, a win's a win. You got to ease yourself into the offense. You got to keep in mind, these are a lot of new players.
50 new players have been added to the roster, and this is an entirely new system that they're playing, because now that former head coach Scott Loeffler is gone, the entire offensive system has changed, and so now, players have to relearn this new playbook that's happening, and really, given how that's all happened in like 3-4 months, I think this is a really good showing.
Yeah, like I said, game 1, not everything's going to be perfect, but a win is a win. And Eddie George starts out his coaching career at Bowling Green 1-0. with the 26-7 victory over Lafayette. So that's going to do it here at Dwight L. Perry Stadium, but stick around as there's going to be a post-game show at the Cooling Center by our board op Nate Hinners with a few other Falcon Media Sports Network colleagues. And speaking of Nate, we want to thank him for pressing all the buttons and being the board op today. Without him, there's no us, so we appreciate your work, Nate. A couple other shout-outs we want to call out was Lucas Kleinmeyer, our sports content director, for allowing us the opportunity to broadcast this, and our overseer of all of the Falcon Media, Carl Smith. I'm sure he'll have some positive words tomorrow in class to talk about the game. And then, of course, you, Andrew. I appreciate the help tonight and the broadcast. And, yeah, we got to call a 26-7 win, so can't complain about that.
Of course, man, it was fun to be here.
Yeah, so that'll do it here from Dwight L. Perry Stadium. 26-7 is your final. Bowling Green on top, 1-0. Thank you, and I, Ziggy Zumba.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun, and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live. For the better of myself, my family, my weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you. I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
And welcome into the Falcon Media Sports Network post-game show. Nate Hinners here in studio, joined by Artie and Foster. Joined once again, we've been checking in with you guys throughout the game, pregame, rain delay, halftime. And now the game has finished at 9:41. 9:41 our current time right now. But we got through it, and the Falcons got a win, 26-7, the final score of this season opener. Foster, you got a recap for us?
Yeah, this starting off strong with that kickoff return, but that second half, it felt like for the Falcons, they really slowed down. I mean, we know they ran the ball a lot, but only field goals in the second half, no touchdowns for the Falcons. You could only wish it would be better, but they still got out with a win, and that's what you're looking for.
I mean, obviously, Eddie Georgiera kicks off with a win. It felt like they were pretty consistent in all areas. Obviously, you mentioned they did kind of, I think they put a little brake on the pedal during the second half. They played a little bit slower, a little more conservative. They were playing pretty conservative in the first half, but I think more so in the second. They obviously added about 3 field goals in the second half, but they got out of here with a 26-7 win. There wasn't really much that the Leopards could really do against Bowling Green to really stop anything. I mean, just look at the rushing yards. Bowling Green, 156 rushing yards compared to the Leopards' 59. I mean, just absolutely dominance in the ground game for Bowling Green.
Yeah, and going down our stats tonight at the end of the first quarter, Bowling Green ahead 7-0. That was, of course, that very exciting play in the first 15 seconds of gameplay before that rain delay. So by the second quarter, BG remained ahead at 10-0. Moving on into the second half, they scored 10 in the second half, 17-0 going into the half. Then returning into the third, Lafayette did score 7, but Bowling Green also scored 6, tuning it up to 23-7. And then by the fourth, Bowling Green scoring 3 to get a final score of 23-7 tonight. Game leaders for tonight for passing yards for BG, Drew Pine, 109 yards. For rushing yards, please help me if I mispronounce this. Cadenus?
I think it's Kadarius.
Okay, I'm sorry if I think I need to mention. Actually, I'll talk more about it. This is my first Falcon Media Sports Network broadcast. I'm usually not a sports ball guy, so I'm sorry if I mispronounced any names tonight. But he got 66 yards in rushing yards, and then receiving yards, RJ Garcia, 32 yards tonight. So those were your game leaders for Bowling Green. And you know what? We're going to take a quick break right now. We'll be back with our round table, talk more about tonight's game. And then later on as well, have our player of the game and see what happened with those other scores around the MAC coming up later on here in your Falcon Media Sports Network post-game show here on Falcon Radio.
In mid-2017, we received the news that nobody wants to hear. Your child has cancer. St. Jude made us feel that everything was gonna be alright. It's like an army of people working together, following the same dream, which is getting 100% success rate for curing childhood cancer.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
And welcome back to the Falcon Media Sports Network post-game show live from the Clean Center in the Falcon Radio studios. Artie and Foster now getting into our analysis roundtable. Kind of your thoughts on tonight's game for the season opener for the Falcons. What do you think of the game? And what do you guys think is next for the Falcons this season?
I mean, Falcons just pretty much dominated this one, honestly, 26-7. It really felt like the Leopards had no answers for what Bowling Green was doing on the ground game. Again, 156 yards on the ground. It felt like Bowling Green was in cruise control this whole matchup. Offense was a little bit stagnant at times, I felt. A lot of RPOs, a lot of, I think it was a little bit generic at times, but it felt like more a little bit of a feeling out period for the offense, see what works, see what doesn't, see some of these running backs, the depth that Eddie George was talking about at running back. It really feels like he's focusing his offense this time around on the ground game. They're really ground and pound, really wear down the defense and score touchdowns on the ground. I mean, you can't talk enough about the kickoff return from Cameron Petaway to kick this one off. I mean, what an exciting way to kick off the season.
Yeah, and I would like to see them try some more things, especially with your next game up against Cincinnati. I mean, that's a tough test, but getting that ground game set up and ready to go is going to be good for the Falcons when you're going to Cincinnati to play a great team. But having some of these, maybe testing some up deep shots down the field in the receiving room, just seeing what you have in receivers as well would have been nice to see. But like we just said, you cannot fault them for running the way they did tonight. They had great amount of success the entire game.
Oh, definitely. It felt like they were in control the entire time. They dominated. Obviously, they didn't get too many touchdowns. They got about 2, and the rest were field goals. But still, that's what you need to win today. Obviously, next week against Cincinnati, that's going to be a little bit of a tougher competition, Big 12 opponent. That's going to be sort of the proving ground for this Eddie George-led team. But I'm excited to see it come next week.
Yeah, and I wonder if some of the just run game was not wanting to show their entire hand with the passing game for the next week against Cincinnati, not putting too much on the game tape so that Cincinnati maybe can't sniff out everything for them.
Yeah, definitely, though, to see this Coach George era, got to be a good start for him. I mean, got to be feeling pretty good tonight for your first game as the Falcons. Got to feel good with these new Falcon players, these returning Falcon players, too, coming into a start to a good season for them. I mean, got to be team-wise, mentally, has to be a good night in that locker room. Just vibe-wise.
I mean, any day you can kick it off with a win. I mean, a win in general, but a win at home with your home fans here for the first game of the season. That's even better. I mean, I can't imagine a better start to the season.
There's not many, especially with 2 years in a row with the kickoff touchdown. Urban Meyer's in town. You have a lot of eyes on you. How are you going to start it out with a win? And that's all you need to do.
Yeah, just from the beginning of the game, the Falcons had this going into it, and they executed it within the beginning of the game and just kept that going throughout the game. So I've got to imagine just if this is the start, like the feeling to start the season off, that's got to be a pretty good, way mentally to be going into this season for them.
Yeah, you want to start out on the right foot. A loss, it doesn't set you back, but it can shake the foundation. So with a strong step forward, they're getting that foundation set for the rest of the season that they're going to have.
Yeah, of course. I mean, mentally going in strong, physically, you got to see, but definitely a good start to the Falcons for this 2025 football season. Coming up, we'll have your Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game, see what's going on around the MAC, and maybe check in on a few other football scores from around the country. That's coming up next here on Falcon Radio.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving.
Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network's post-game show here on Falcon Radio. And again, Bowling Green Falcons defeating the Lafayette Leopards 26-7 tonight for a good season opener for the Falcons. And now many Falcon players having a strong start to the season. But Artie, only one can be our Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game.
I feel like it's kind of obvious. You got to go with Cameron Petaway. I mean, the 96 yard kickoff return to kick off the season for a touchdown, second straight season in a row. You got to go with him for your player of the game. Plus, he had 8 carries for 35 yards, averaging 4.4 yards per carry. He's the Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game. It was an obvious choice. I mean, whenever you have a highlight play like that, it gets all the team's momentum. Obviously, there was the rain delay afterwards, but you got to go with him for the player of the game. But also, I want to give a special honorary shout-out to the Bowling Green kicker, Jackson Cleather. He went 4 for 4, perfect from long distance, and 2 for 2 from extra points, and a 56-yard field goal. So I want to give him a shout-out as well because he was terrific today as well.
And now moving on from our game tonight, see what's going on around the MAC, other football scores going on around the country. Kind of been checking in on around the MAC throughout the night, but how are those games going, Foster?
Yeah, well, we'll start off with the Ohio-Rutgers game that has finished. Rutgers did end up beating Ohio 34-31 in a very close game. Ohio pushed them all the way to the edge like we talked about in the pregame show. Ohio has looked like a good team.
Can I just come in real quick because they had the same kickoff time as us?
They did.
What time did they finish?
Oh, they finished an hour ago at least. They've been done for a while. It doesn't tell me exact end time, but they have been they've been done for plenty of time for them. But yes, they did kick off at 6 p.m. like us, and they've been done for a while. But other than that, Wyoming leads Akron 3-0 in the fourth. That's been a game. That's all I can say about that. Buffalo and Minnesota, that's a close one. 3-10. Buffalo's hanging in with Minnesota right now. That's something to keep an eye on to see how this Buffalo team goes up this next season. And Miami, Wisconsin. Miami is down 3-0. It's only the second. Miami returning Daquan Finn, very well known in this area, as we know. The former Toledo quarterback transferred out last season back into the MAC. Now after a time with Baylor. So see how he does down in Miami. But some bigger games to talk about. The upset of the night, South Florida beating number 25 Boise State 34-7. And that's, talk about a beatdown, 34-7 on a ranked team. A team that just came off a playoff appearance last season with Ashton Genty and the Boise State team.
Yeah, and with that's about going to wrap things up for our coverage tonight. Final thoughts on the game?
Just a great way to kick off the Georgia era with a win. Great day for the Falcons, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this team continues to grow offensively with this run game that they have.
Yeah, so with that, going to wrap up things here on the Falcon Media Sports Network tonight. A big thank you to Andrew and Sean for broadcasting tonight's game from the Detroit. Sitting through that rain delay, but Andrew, nice job. One of his first broadcast, at least, of the season.
Yeah.
Great job with that. Sean taking over for color play-by-play as Reese Patricus has moved on to better things.
He's graduated, just so we're clear. He's graduated.
He's still alive.
He's still very much alive.
But yes, Sean is going to be our main play-by-play guy this season, as well as Tyler Kavalitz, your other football beat this season. He'll have more coverage for you guys this week over on bgfalconmedia.com. Carter Leonard will also have his recap over there as well. If you are listening to us now, probably already on bgfalconmedia.com, so just head on up to that sports section to read more coverage of tonight's game. Speaking of broadcasts here from the Falcon Media Sports Network, coming up tomorrow, we'll start coverage from North Dakota, right? Ben Korak traveling out there today. Going to be covering BGSU volleyball as they have a tournament out there. We'll have coverage going on throughout this weekend. Artie, you'll be board hopping tomorrow at 2. I'll be there board hopping tomorrow night at 7 as well as Saturday at noon. Those games will be over on our sister station, WBGU 88.1 FM. But if you are looking for some Falcon volleyball coverage, head on over there tomorrow night, or not tomorrow, tomorrow day and night, as well as Saturday as well for coverage of that. You can also see coverage on our website, bgfalconmedia.com. But Foster and Artie, thanks for hanging out with me in studio this evening. Nice to not be alone in this.
No, yeah, it's nice to have people in here for once.
And a big thank you too to our sports director Lucas Kleinmeyer, production director Tyler Kavalitz, and Falcon media manager Carl Smith for helping to work with us for this new post-game show, pre-game, post-game, and halftime show, as well as tonight, a rain delay show. So, big thanks to them for working all of this, and it's all to give you guys a better broadcast to listen to, more coverage of the Falcons here. And also, by the way, this was my first Falcon Media Sports Network broadcast tonight. Sorry if I said any non-sports terms, but I think I sounded sporty enough.
Yeah, I'd say.
I think you did pretty good, man.
So anyways, but that's going to wrap things up for us tonight, wrapping up here at 9:54. So, have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. More coverage on our website, bgfalconmedia.com. Bye.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.